The following is a presentation of Girard Sports Live. It's time for Girard High School Athletics on Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net. Also by Ag Choice of Epler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Call Service, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Diskins Auto and Towing, DS Construction, Evans Motors, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Farmers Bank, Girard Medical Center, Hydrix Appliance, The Jagged Edge, GN Bank, Larrett Ceramics, Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Producers Cooperative Association, and Roto-Rooter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Girard Sports Live.
And good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weekend and welcome to week number 10 of the high school football season. It is a breezy, blustery, rainy, wet, cold day at Frank Jameson Field in Girard, Kansas, and there's no place we'd rather be tonight than in week 10, welcome in the Frontenac Raiders here for a Class 3A regional championship. The Trojans trying to keep their dream season alive and stay undefeated, and trying to do one of the tougher things to do is beat a team twice in a season. We have plenty to talk about as we get ready for this one. The weather will be a factor. We'll discuss that a little bit throughout the evening, and we will get you set for what we expect to be a hard-fought battle against some of the elements that are moving their way through the area. A possibility of some delays depending on how the weather shapes up, but we're here for the duration to bring you what we anticipate to be a really big ball game. Plenty to talk about in the pregame show. Before we get to it, bring in our broadcast partners here for this one, Jess Murphy and Daryl McLeod. And Jess, you've got a chance to see this team all season long, anticipating, and kind of this was an expected game to get to. This is kind of a rare error for the Trojans to have expectations beyond even this game, but you still got to take care of business, and you got one of your rivals coming into town.
Yeah, the first time we played Frontenac, I believe it was 35-0, and I'm going to tell you, BJ, I don't think it was that close.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be what it is. Like you said, the weather's going to have a little factor. Talked to the coaches earlier. This field turf's wonderful. Thank you, donors, donations, whoever paid for that. But, yeah, I'm ready. I'm goosebumps.
Daryl, what's the atmosphere? I asked you this when we first worked together week one. What's the atmosphere in the hallways? You know, there's got to be a lot of anticipation, expectations for the Trojans.
Well, just like week one, electric. Everyone in the hallways is anticipating this game. There's posters all over the hallways, and the big talk of the day was the Frontenac Raiders. Are we going to be able to pull it off and be able to beat them? Certainly the boys are confident, but everyone's kind of nervous for this game today.
You're also starting to see how the improvements of teams are coming to fruition. Raiders have improved a little bit. Columbus with an upset win last night over Galena. We'll talk more about that in our area matchups as well as we move on through the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon, pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Still to come, we've got your area matchups, keys to the game, and we'll continue to break this one down with the Raiders coming in with a record of 6-3. They were 3-3 in the CNC. The Trojans 9-0, the number 5 ranked team in Class 3A, 4-0 in the CNC. A big one tonight on the docket on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Crocan is dedicated to helping keep families connected, workers to collaborate, students to learn, and businesses to continue to serve their customers, and even for doctors to treat their patients. Crochan's reliable high-speed fiber-to-the-home network means no buffering movies or grainy video conferences, no matter how many people are using it. Call or go online to sign up for the fastest and best internet in Southeast Kansas. Crochan. If you need to stay connected, you need Crochan.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
Girard Medical Center is one of the area's best places to work. Are you a nurse? Does caring for patients on a more personal level sound appealing to you? Then you'll love our lower nurse-to-patient ratio. We also have positions open in other departments. Benefits include state employee health plan, 457 retirement plan with match, life insurance, paid time off, plus employee and family discounts on services. Best of all, your coworkers are like family. For more information, contact Greg Sullivan, Director of HR, or apply online at girardmedicalcenter.com.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Celebrate, recognize, build. That's the promise of Wilbert's Signature Awards and Engraving. Owners Greg and Missy Scott are committed to helping their customers celebrate special moments, recognize achievements, and build relationships. With a huge selection of Trojan gear, plaques and awards, custom leather patch hats, trophies, and so much more. Plus, while you're there, stop in next door to find the latest fashions from Aubrey at Scott & Company. Wilbert Signature Awards and Engraving. Learn more at wilbertawards.com or call 620-724-0341. Welcome back out here to Frank Jameson Field, Girard, Kansas. BJ Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod as we get set for this Class 3A Regional Championship game. The Girard Trojans and the Frontenac Raiders. Girard coming into this ball game again 9-0 on the season, coming off a 35-0 win over Parsons in the opening round of these playoffs last week, just dominant against a Parsons team that many thought might have upset dreams. Not the case when it came here to Girard. Girard's now won 19 of the last 20 games, which is a pretty awesome feat. I meant to go back and see where that landed in history, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the better runs Girard's had in a 2-year stretch. Trojans made pretty quick work of the Vikings. Alex Kester, 9 carries, 53 yards, had 2 touchdowns early on as well. Luke Nigaman, 7 completions for 49 yards and 2 scores as well. The Trojans have been a juggernaut offensively, 38 points per game, and that is compared to Frontenac's not quite at that level this year. And their defense only allowing 8.8 points per ball game. You guys go back to that game last week against Parsons, and Parsons advancing, and you know you can look right at Parsons' schedule and know they've been up and down, so you don't know what you're going to get. That can be scary going into a win-and-done game. But it seemed like the Trojans handled that pressure pretty well.
Yeah, I felt bad over the pregame show. I didn't know what to talk about. I was scared to death about the Parsons game, that team out of Parsons. But they come in, and now we've seen maybe how they got on that losing streak. They turned the ball over a lot. They ran some gadget plays, and I would assume against maybe a less disciplined defense that those plays were working early in the year.
I would tell you, Coach Scheibe's got them going in the right direction, and that's a program that if they get things going in the right direction, they can be very tough, and he's the kind of guy that I think can build that program and make them pretty dangerous. The Trojans, again, coming against this Frontenac team at 6-3, coming off a 35-15 win over Iola in their opening round game. Raiders offensively, 19.2 points per game, so not all that dramatic. 13.7 points per game they're giving up. But this is a team that won 10 games a year ago. Both these teams, in fact, won 10 games a year ago. And the Raiders were the 3A runner-up to Andell, so they made a run. And that's something that the Raiders can do, is get on a run, that mentality that they can bring. Teams that have had success, kids who have had success playing sports are never kind of out of it, are they?
No, they really aren't, especially with our team right here. They have grown up together. They have done every single sport together all the way up until this moment right now. And so they have been able to build that chemistry. And like Frontenac, those guys have played together also. They've built that chemistry also. So it's going to be a really good ball game.
Proximity of these two teams, not very far. Probably the closest team that Girard would play in the Frontenac Raiders, unless we played a 11-man, 7-man, or 8-man deal over there against St. Paul. But this will be, I think, a little bit of electricity. The Frontenac Raiders led by quarterback Cal Turlip, and their running back is Jack Lusker. And then out on the edge, they'll rely on wide receivers Vinny Pyle and Mario Mangini. Those are some of the names you will hear from the Raiders here tonight in this one. Let's take a look at our area matchups. Area matchups are brought to you by Area matchups brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing, 120 East Forest Avenue in downtown Girard. I was right next door to them today. Diskins offers 24-hour towing and can repair all makes and models. To learn more, contact Jason Diskin at Diskins Auto and Towing at 620-724-8100. One of the best parts about playing in the playoffs is area matchups aren't as much about the area anymore, as teams are starting to kind of fall off a little bit. In 3A last night, a big, I think not really necessarily a big upset. Another one of those teams kind of on the come is Columbus. We mentioned that a moment ago. 5-5 on the season. The Trojans saw them in week 1. Probably the low point of the season for the Trojans was in that week 1 against the Columbus Titans. And so you know they got some tough ones, but they come back in overtime and beat. Galena tied it late in the regulation, 14-all. They went to overtime. Columbus scores, and they end up knocking off Galena in that one. They are awaiting the winner tonight of Wellsville and Topeka Hayden. That'll be an interesting one. Typically, you like Hayden in those matchups, but Wellsville's a team that's been on the come a little bit. And obviously, we got this game. The other side of this bracket, one we'll watch, is Holton against Bishop Ward. The Trojans look to play the winner of that team and possible rematch with the Holton Wildcats that would be here if that's the case, because the furthest east team would host. Don't get your cart before the horse. Out west, Andell, just a wrecking crew. They'll take on Rock Creek in their next round game, as they both won last night. Clay Center, an upset win over Wichita Collegiate as well. And then the other side, Scott County and Scott Community, and Cheney playing on the west side of the bracket. Area-wise, Chanute got upset last night, 48-47 in 2 overtimes against Kansas City Piper. That's probably one of the area games that surprised a lot of folks. And then in Class 2A, not necessarily real close, but Caney Valley continues to keep their season alive. Caney was 16-13 winners over Council Grove. Elsewhere in the area, Humboldt, they'll be taking on Osage City tonight. And the area matchup in this, I think Colgan's still probably alive. I don't have that bracket necessarily right in front of me, but those are your area matchups brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing. We'll talk more about those throughout the game. Still to come here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame. We've got your keys to the game, still got your starting lineups and opening kickoff here from Frank Jameson Field on a wet and cool fall night in southeast Kansas. You're watching it on Girard Sports Live.
The farmer's friend in the field is Crop Care. With their industry-leading crop scouting, Crop Care can catch diseases, bugs, and other yield-robbing issues before they affect your bottom line. Crop Care also offers grid soil sampling and plant sampling with lab-tested results, giving you an unmatched advantage. With coverage across the entire region, Crop Care has insight that can help you avoid problems before they start. Give Kurt or Josh Harris a call at 620-687-4795. Crop Care, the name says it all.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Pretty empty field here so far at Frank Jameson Field as everybody's kind of gone inside to get themselves in their final preparations before this one. Again, we're here for a 3A regional championship game. The Girard Trojans, Frontenac Raiders. Trojans coming in at 9-0, Raiders at 6-3. A CNC battle here in this 3A regional. It's time for our Keys to the Game. Keys to the Game brought to you by Evans Motors. Get the keys to your next ride with a stop at Evans Motors. Nate and Eddie have decades of experience getting folks in the right car, truck, or van, or SUV. That's the one that's right for them and their family. Stop by and see them at the intersection of Highway 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh, or see their full line of selection online at evansmotors.net. It's worth a stop there just to see those two yahoos. You should do it. Just stop in and tell them we sent you as well. What are your keys to the game? You guys have seen these guys all season long. You get into the playoffs. You kind of know what you are. You just got to execute. But what's the thoughts you have, a couple of them on your end, Murph?
I'm going to go with, we talked about the weather conditions. In the last couple games, Trojans has put the ball on the turf a time or two, which is they didn't early in the season. So we're going to have to take care of the football, not turn it over. And on the other hand, get your hat, get your hands on the ball carrier. The ball's going to be a little wet coming off that turf. Force some turnovers, win the turnover battle, win the time of possession, win the scoreboard at the end of the game, BJ.
He just used all the keys to the game. If you do those things,
you win.
And the one at the end, always the classics, best key to the game, have the most points at the end of the game.
Always.
Undefeated. Teams are undefeated when they have more points than the other team at the end of the game.
It's easy. It's that easy.
If he didn't leave much meat on that bone, Daryl, you got any keys to the game?
Well, I'm just going to echo him. Yeah, no. This is your rival. You've played them during the regular season. You know their tendencies. Obviously, they're going to have some tricks up their sleeve for this game. But I think it's really focusing on yourself, playing your game, and just beating your opponent.
You know, you talked about the rivalry aspect of it. That can be a double-edged sword. That can kind of get you. You can overhype yourself. You can overrun your landing a little bit. That rain's starting to pick up a little bit here at Frank Jameson Field, and you got to be able to use it as a tool and don't let it be a detriment and get too fired up. Things after the play, things that can cause 15-yard penalties, those never come at good times. There's never a good time to get a 15-yard personal foul penalty or something going a little bit beyond. And certainly when moving the ball likely is going to be at a premium here with the weather being a problem and the wind is whipping out of the north a little bit, rain coming down. Hopefully, the only thing that will stop this is lightning, and we'll see if that becomes a factor in this game. We'll be with you for the duration until they tell us that we need to go home and come back another time. So we're hoping to get this one in here tonight in Girard. The Raiders and the Trojans tonight. Take a point of pride here. Tell everybody as you're watching, we appreciate the support. Girard is among none other when it comes to the support that we get for Girard Sports Live and all the other channels that I've got across the eastern part of Kansas. It's just different here in Girard, and we're very thankful and continue to be proud of what the product you guys have put on this year, and hopefully we can do it again here tonight. Thoughts and prayers go out to Josh Lettner, who normally in this chair, as his family lost his father-in-law this week in Indiana and Chicago, so that's why Josh is up there taking care and tending to his business, family first, as far as I'm concerned. And so I'll be in the chair. Hopefully it will do okay here tonight with you guys and get through here in week number 10. Another thing you talk about that is overlooking, thinking about that next week game, because I can tell you right now, I am just a hair thinking about a possible rematch from a year ago's chance. But the Trojans do have to take care of business here tonight against the Raiders. We'll see if they'll do it in just a little bit. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have your starting lineups. We'll be that much closer to opening kickoff here. The Trojans setting to take the field on a rainy night in Girard. You're watching Girard Sports Live.
For years, James Brumback and Brumback Service Center have been keeping area residents on the road with high quality and fast service. Let's face it, none of us have time for a breakdown, so be sure to stop by Brumback's for preventative maintenance, oil changes, and tire repairs. Brumback's is also your place for new tires with a variety of quality brands to choose from. Brumback Service Center, 312 East St. John in Girard. Call 620-724-6770. Good luck, Trojans, from Brumback Service Center.
Do you have a construction project that just needs that custom touch? Are you looking for a contractor who can get it all done, roof to floors and everywhere in between? Then call Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience, DS Construction specializes in new construction, roofing, renovations, and more. There's no job too big or small. For a free estimate, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209. That's 620-724-0209.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Here at the Smith Agency, we love being part of our hometown, and we know it's the people who make our community great. That's why this year, we're on the search for our hometown hero. Hometown heroes are individuals who go above and beyond impacting people's lives. Hometown heroes are children, parents, seniors, they're leaders, and they're everywhere. Nominate your hometown hero, and at the last home game of the season, they'll be recognized with a $100 gift card to Heroes Barbecue. Contact our office and nominate your hero today.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
And the floodgates have opened at Frank Jameson Field in that commercial break. It went from a slight drizzle to monsoon. I don't know if that's how you describe this. Pretty substantial, but man, good look at the Trojans. The last text I sent Coach Schwartz was when he said we're going to play on Friday. I said then we'll fight in the shade from 300. So, and that's what this is right now, just getting after it a little bit. Luckily, we're inside these beautiful facilities here at Frank Jameson Field in this nice new press box, all cozy warm for you guys. Hopefully, bring you a quality broadcast here if the Trojans are able to get this one going here tonight in a monsoon. Starting lineups are brought to you by our friends at the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style that you will find at the Jagged Edge. Stylists Carlos Sands, Robin Hawkins, or Evie Vietti will have you. Oh, the national anthem is playing immediately. We won't play that. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with our starting lineups after this. I can't air that national anthem.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed.
Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
Apologize for dumping out of there. YouTube won't let us play those songs on the YouTubes. So out of there. We're in the midst of our starting lineups, in the midst of our live read. Jagged Edge, those guys supporting us since we've started. Really appreciate them. If you want to look your best for the next big game, make your appointment soon by calling the Jagged Edge at 620-724-7500 for the Trojans as they're out there doing the coin toss as we speak. Good luck trying to catch that coin. We'll start with the offense led by number 2, Luke Niggeman, 6'5", 205-pound quarterback. He is a good one. 39-75 on the season, 650 yards. He's got 6 touchdowns against 4 interceptions, 52% completion. It's just not their game throwing the ball necessarily, really relying on the run, and he's a pretty good year there as well. 62 carries for 539 yards and 11 scores, 8.7 yards a carry. You'll take that from your quarterback. One of the wingbacks is Ethan Davidson, 6', 165, and a senior. The other wingback's Bo Harris, number 3, 5'7", 135, and a senior. Alex Kester is the running back, 6', 175, and a senior. 126 carries on the season, 74 yards, 16 touchdowns as well. He will be crucial in this one, along with that O-line with the rain set in here at this one. Also on the offensive side of the ball, out on the edge, Caleb Scales, 6', 165, and a senior. Up front for the Trojans, it'll be number 55, the right guard, Eric Williams, 6', 225, and a senior. The left guard is Caleb Combs, number 67, 6', 200, and a junior. Left tackle is Cordell Ciron, a 5'11", 183-pound senior. The center is Ryan Jarbo, 5'7", 200-pound senior. Tight end Scott Moore, 6'4", 216, and a sophomore. And Justin Ferguson, the right tackle, 6'2", 165, and a senior. Those are your starting lineups brought to you by the Jagged Edge for the Trojan offense. We'll go to Raider defense. And defensively for the Raiders, it'll be number 1, Trey Kramer, a junior. Number 9, Gavin Whithun, a sophomore. Alex Williams, a senior. Number 12. Number 23, Jaden Houghton, a sophomore. Number 24, Corbin Nix, a sophomore as well. A young squad here. Number 22, Mario Mangini. He'll be one of the DBs and a senior. Number 25, Jack Lusker, a D-end and also their running back offensively. He's a senior. Up front for the Raiders defensively at D-tackle, number 54, Jacob Holt, a junior. Number 59, Evan Kotzman, is a senior. Those are your starting lineups for this one. Boys, it is raining just a little bit. out there. You want to alter your keys to the game at all, Murph? Or you still sticking with them?
Well, I'm going to stick with them a little bit. The only thing I'm going to change up is I don't think it's going to get very muddy.
That's good. You're right. You are correct. Opening kickoffs brought to you by Lyric Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Lyric Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying and get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece, or maybe even sign up for classes from Lyric Ceramics. Call 620-724-8442. Trojans to tee this one up. Gets knocked off the tee immediately, whether that was the wind or the rain knocking it down. Garrett Humble to line this one up, the 6 foot, 160-pound senior. 3 guys back deep to receive for the Raiders. He'll put this one up in the air. We are underway here in Girard for this regional championship game. Center return. Good return up across the 35-yard line on the return for Latham Lundberg. And Lundberg lunges forward across the 35, or just shy of it. That's where they'll start this one at the 34-yard line.
Trojan special teams there. Garrett not good footing, just punched it down there.
It's a pretty good start for them. I'd say start at 35 considering the conditions. Just across the 35 actually is where they'll put this one. Wide receiver near side, one to the far side, fullback and a tailback. Turn handoff, burst through the line immediately. Ain't nothing but a thing for Anthony Pike as he goes right through the offensive line to make a 3-yard loss on first down.
Yeah, Pike just shooting a gap there. Big Drake Kotzman staying gap discipline, keeping his linebackers clean.
Lusker on the carry, nothing there at all. Loss of 3 on the play brings up a 2nd down and 13. Wide receiver near side, 2 to the near side now with Trey Kramer, the split out all the way to the sidelines. 1 man in the backfield is Lusker. This is run off left side for Mario McGinney, rather, and he'll pick his way through back across the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Raiders.
First test for the Trojan defense, see if we can hold here on 3rd down, force a punt.
McGinney had the first carry as well, so back-to-back hauls for him. Rain has subsided a little bit from what it was doing a moment ago. We do expect this to move out within the hour or so, we're hoping. Lusker, the fullback, to tailback McGinney. Turn, handoff, trying to stretch out there, not able to do it. Got a hold of him, and then ripped down from behind. First guy there, Juan Pizarro, to get a hold, and then followed up by Kotzman, and they limit him to maybe a gain of 1 on the play. And it'll bring up a punting situation, a good stop for the Trojan defense.
Yeah, seeing a lot of fiery emotion from that Trojan defense, especially that D-line just firing off the ball.
They haven't quite had a game like this all year. The emotions are high with this rain.
Yeah, you can feel it a little bit. Feeling your oats, right? Is that what they call it?
Oh, yeah.
Punting situation here. Kester back to return. Good boot into this one. It'll be fair caught. Tough to do. Able to do it is Kester on the nice punt there for the Raiders. Number 55, Tyler Antle. And that's where the Trojans will start this drive, their opening drive of this game, moving from right to left here. With 10:01 to go in this opening quarter, as they will begin this drive at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, time to see if this weather will hinder the Trojan offense any.
We're going to find out right now. They'll come out with a wide receiver near his side is Scales. 2 wings. Again, Harris and Davidson are the wings. The tailback's Kester. The quarterback is Luke Nigaman. He'll go out of that pistol set with Kester just behind him. Send Harris in motion. Turn, dive. Kester will fall forward for a gain of a couple on first down. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and long 8.
Yeah, not much there. Good to fall forward. 2 yards, always positive. Going forward's good thing, BJ.
Yep. Make sure there's no negative. Try to limit the negative plays and always be going forward. Get your shoulders square. Small, undersized, but athletic offensive line come to the line of scrimmage. They'll flip Davidson out to the slot. Harris will be the wing to that side. Kester just behind Nigaman. Option, right side. Nigaman trying to pick his way. Not able to bust off the second tackle. He'll get across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play. We'll call it 2. It'll bring up a 3rd down at 6.
And same situation here for the Raider defense. Trojan defense held a while ago. See if the Trojans have a 3rd and 6 play in their playbook.
Opportunities could be limited, certainly here in the first half. 3rd down and 6 for the Trojans. Davidson bluffs the motion. Now he'll come back. Trojans will check. Play clock at 10. Scales with the wide receiver to the near side. Turn, option, kick it outside for Harris. They get it pitched and well played by the Raiders. That's McGinney who's there immediately and upends it. And it will be a 3 and out for the Trojans as well. No gain on the play.
Yeah, we've seen Trojans run that hard count all season. This time it just didn't work. Raiders stayed disciplined. We talked earlier, field position could be a big battle here. See if we can't flip the field.
Niggman will be the punter. McGinney will go back to return this one for the Raiders as he stands at his own 35-yard line. Good snap. Nope, didn't hold on to it. Did Niggman. He kicks it. Ball's in the air. It's going to be a first miscue of the ball game, as it was a very good snap right to his hand. Just went through his hands, and there's the rain causing a problem, and the Trojans have got themselves backed up against the wall early.
Yeah, the problem with that, BJ, is that doesn't go in the stats as a turnover, but it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, technically a turnover on downs. 8 minutes to go here first quarter, and the Trojans are going to have to overcome some adversity early on as the Raiders will start this drive at the Trojan 21-yard line. See if that emotion can come back into play here. 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side, tight. And a full house backfield, loose ball again. See if the Trojans can get it right back. It is a massive humanity. Get in on that. A bunch of guys in there that they do not indicate anything. It looks like the Raiders maybe fell on top of that one. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Boy, almost gave it right back.
Well, maybe this wet ball's going to have more effect on this game than I originally thought.
Well, the thing about a football is it's wet and it's not round and it's got a weird shape to it, and it doesn't lend itself all the time to being held.
But they have these fancy new gloves.
Oh, that's true. Inverted wishbone here, loose ball again. Cal Turtleup's having a heck of a time getting that ball, and this time the Trojans are indicating that they have it, and they do. The Trojans on it, and Jaden Norris comes up with the fumble recovery, and just like that, right back to the Trojans it goes.
Big play. That's a way to...
Almost like the last one didn't happen.
Yep. So now we just get to start over.
Just pretend like it didn't happen, and they punt it to you, and then you're back right where you're at.
And that's what the defense is for.
That's right. Trojans will start this at their own 21-yard line, literally right where they were a moment ago before they had to punt. Send in motion, turn, handoff. Kester trying to pick his way. He gets his shoulder pads going forward. A nice lean there, able to pick his way and find that hole. Good run across the 25 up near the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on first down and a bring up 2nd down and 5.
One thing I love to see Alex Kester do is Marcus Allen-esque. He never gets hit. He seldomly ever gets hit hard.
Yeah, if you put your shoulder pads and you're looking for that hole, the pressure will put you in the hole because your body wants to go where there's nobody there, you know. Tight end or a wide receiver tight is Scales. 2 wings again. Kester and Niggam in the backfield. Send Davidson in motion. Turn, handoff right up the middle. Kester first down. First down of the game as he's across the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9. Only needed 5. And a first down for the Trojans.
Yeah, 2 hands on that football. Alex Kester, as he bears through the
ball security is probably going to be heard as they go onto the field each offensive possession. 6:17 and counting in this first quarter on a rain-soaked Frank Jameson Field on a cool, crisp Friday night in November. You're playing November football. All's well with the world. Wide receiver far side. Scales will flip to that direction. Davidson on the right, Harris on the left. He'll go in motion. Turn, handoff again. Kester picks away, still on his feet. Galloping across the 40-yard line. He'll have an easy-peasy 4-yard. The last of it, he did it with his legs for about 3 yards. He'll be lean close to a first down, and it's a gain of 10 on first down for Alex Kester.
Yeah, the Raiders are kind of lined up in a traditional 4-4. You see that a lot in a high school defense. They blitzed the linebacker, kind of jumped over the offensive lineman, but missed the mesh point, and Alex was able to get off a really good run.
Held him up just shy of a first down. It'll be a gain of 9 officially. And a second down and very short. Moore will split out to the near side. Scales will go to the far side. Fake the option. Nigama getting pressured. He'll flip it out. He's got Kester. He'll have to bobble it for a second. He's at midfield. And a bobbling 6-yard pickup on the completion to Kester. And another first down for the Trojans up to midfield.
Man, nothing fancy about that. That was just the old.
That's like trying to catch a bar of soap for Alex Kester.
I'm honestly kind of surprised they went with the pass so early. I figured it'd just be a running game today.
Second down and 1's a good time to do that and test it and see if it's something you can do. Alex Kester right now going, well, I can, but.
Yeah, kind of.
Same formation. Play clock down to 10. Turn, handoff, Kester immediately. Not a big push there for the Trojans up front. The Raiders able to make contact. Lusker along with Corbin Nix there to make the play. You can see a little bit of a youth movement for the Raiders. Several sophomores in their starting lineup, whereas across the way, you look at the Trojans, there's a good bit of seniors. So the experience certainly is with the team in crimson and gold. Boys on the sidelines trying to stay warm. Moore scales the wideouts. Davidson Harris again at the wing. Hard count from Nigaman. He'll turn. Handoff again. Kester. Kester fights through across the 45 up near the 44-yard line. And it'll be a gain of 6 on second down. And bring up a third down and manageable. Big.
Trojans are starting to get better at it here. But one thing that I think is overlooked in the rain is that not only is it harder for the ball carrier to keep a hold of the ball, but it's harder for the offensive lineman to keep a hold of their blocks. Just as a ball carrier has to make their cuts, an offensive lineman has to dig into the ground in order to make their blocks, and they're starting to get better at it right now, starting to get more used to it.
Yeah, you got to be very deliberate about your steps a little bit. Just push on that other guy until he goes away. Option far side, Nigaman picking his way forward. He'll get his shoulder pads going forward on third down, and now the Trojans have a little bit of a decision to make. You executed your last punt, did not go well. You like your chances to pick up 1 yard, 1.5 yards. We'll see what they do.
Not much of a decision, BJ.
Go for it, huh?
Yeah. When you're on the positive side of your own field, you don't even pack a punter on the bus.
All right. Put that in Chapter 4 of Murph's Guide to Fourth Down Plays.
But there's a reason why I'm in the booth and not on the sideline.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 yards, 4th down and 2 for the Trojans. Trying to keep a drive alive to take advantage of a turnover after they gave one to the Raiders on their opening drive. And a timeout. Coach wants to think a little bit harder about this. Not quite as simple as Murph made it sound. 2:48 to go first quarter. Timeout. We'll take it. Trojans trying to convert when we return on Girard Sports Live. Presented by Crocan.
Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Good look at the Trojans as they discuss this upcoming fourth down play. Todd Bryan's in there giving his wisdom. Sure that was useful. 4th down and 2 for the Trojans. Trying to, again, take advantage of a fumble after they fumbled on a punt that went through the hands of Luke Nigaman. And then the Raiders 2 plays later, and actually 2 plays in a row they fumbled. The first one they fell on top of, and the second one they did. Now the Trojans here, the 8th play of this drive. 4th down and 2. Nigaman. Now a penalty flag's going to come out. This may change things a bit. They get a false start against the Trojans. Ugh.
I didn't see it either.
I did not either. So now you have to consider this looks more like it'll work out to be a quick kick. We will see how they draw this one up. So from 4th and 2 now to 4th and 7.
Yep. Sending out the punt unit.
Well, it could have been worse because the Trojans gave the Raiders the ball at their own 21-yard line 8 plays ago, and now this may result in that punt. McGinty back to receive as he stands just inside his own 15. Nigamy just beyond the 40. Has to track this one down. Loose ball, and he's able to get it away. Lucky to do so. It's not going to be much of a difference in field position, but it will be inside the 35, and special teams will be the biggest victim of this weather, and we've already seen that. 2:39 to go first quarter. Trojans and Raiders locked up in zeros right now. The Trojan defense has been pretty relentless, though. Raiders had the opening drive of this one, didn't have much. In fact, netted 3 yards on that drive, and then they had it again and netted 0 yards and a fumble. Wide receiver far side, one to the near side is Kramer. Wingback left side, Lusker. He'll turn handoff McGinty. McGinty trying to catch the edge, and he'll be brought down on that far side. Tackle made for the Trojans by Alex Kester. It'll be a gain of 2, maybe 2.5 on the play. And it'll bring up a second, more than that, they'll bring up a second down and 7.
Yeah, that was a good second effort there by Lusker. Trojans kind of had him bottled up there at the line of scrimmage, and he just put his foot in the ground, leaned forward, and gains 3 yards.
We'll go Twins to the near side. Turn, handoff again, McGinty. This time they do get the edge set. And Davidson able to try to string it out a little bit. It'll be a gain of about 9 yards. And maybe 10. They'll give him enough just across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. A 10-yard run by McGinty and a first down, their first of the game.
Yeah, first play Frontenac's actually looked like good on. Trojan defense just kind of got sucked in.
Yeah, I believe Pizarro on this near side got sealed, and then Davidson lucky enough to be able to maintain outside contain a little bit and make him stretch it. And then help was able to come before it was a bigger play than it ended up being. But a 10-yard gain, their biggest of the first half, inside approaching the 90-second mark of this first quarter.
Right, one thing I noticed here, BJ, Trojans are kind of in a 4-man front. They're usually a 3-man front.
Turn handoff again, McGinty. He'll get ahead of steam going forward up near midfield, and Anthony Pike going to come in and make the play along with Williams for the Trojans, but a gain of 4 on first down. It's more than that at the snap. They're walking up both linebackers at the line of scrimmage. They backed them off that time, but it's almost a 6-man front when they finally snap the ball. They're kind of in a phone booth. Wide receivers have been for show so far here for the Raiders. Running backs to each, 3 guys in the backfield. They'll turn handoff. Bubbled out there. It is gobbled up as Kotzman burst through the line. Nobody blocked 72. And the big fella ripped him down for a loss of 5 on the play. And they bring him a third down and 11. Big play there.
Yeah, Drake Kotzman's been big all season.
Just a force in the middle of the field. It's almost like no team can really run up the middle against him because of just how much mass he takes up there. Really, every single center that's gone against him has been smaller than him, and you have to double team him almost every time.
Loss of 5 of the play, third down and 11. 3 wide receivers near side. Turlip will roll to the near side, a little bit of pressure, held, tipped, nearly intercepted, and it was knocked out of the air by Anthony Pike. Somebody definitely got held before they got to the quarterback, but they did not get that one, but it'll be fourth down in a punting situation.
Yeah, great job by the Trojans. The bend did not break there, give up 1 first down.
That's a very well played. The fact that the linebacker was able to get over there and be in that spot to defend that play means they know what they're doing and where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, but here we go again. Special teams, even if they get the snap off, catching the ball on the other end could be dangerous.
This high, kind of wobbly snap, Trojans nearly got there. Good punt, though. And Kester you don't have to catch it either.
No.
That's the other thing. You're going to give up some field position. And I'm sure Alex is confident in his ability to catch that ball, and he's able to do it there. But the Trojans will have good field position after another punt by the Raiders. 3 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Still no score. As Girard will start at their own 32-yard line.
Showerman's going to relieve Kester at the tailback position.
And it'll be the first time him touching the ball as well. Something to think about. Same wings, 2 wide receivers near his side. More in the slot. Harris goes in motion. Turn handoff. Shireman. He is hit and brought down. Good sure tackling there by McGinney, filling the hole along with Nix, and that's the end of the first quarter. A 2-yard gain on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 8 when we return after this. You're watching Girard High School playoff football on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Walnut, Hepler, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Celebrate, recognize, build. That's the promise of Wilbert Signature Awards and Engraving. Owners Greg and Missy Scott are committed to helping their customers celebrate special moments, recognize achievements, and build relationships. With a huge selection of Trojan gear, plaques and awards, custom leather patch hats, trophies, and so much more. Plus, while you're there, stop in next door to find the latest fashions from Aubrey at Scott & Company. Wilbert Signature Awards and Engraving. Learn more at wilbertawards.com or call 620-724-0341.
Trojans looking at a 2nd down and 8 as we come back after the end of the first quarter. Right back on the ball. Turn, handoff, trying to bounce outside is Adam Shireman. Ball comes loose, and there it is, still loose. And it is gathered up by McGinney as he falls onto it. And I said it on the first play, and he did it the second time.
Yeah, we talked about it. That ball control, that wet football is like holding a bar of soap.
Mario and McGinney, he's been everywhere, and he falls on that one. The 2nd turnover of the game for the Trojans. And another excellent field position here for the Raiders as they'll start for the 2nd time inside Trojan territory at the Girard 41. Turlip under center. He'll run option or hand off all right side, trying to stretch it out there for McGinney, and he's able to pick it through. Another good run across the 35 up near the 34-yard line for McGinney.
And there again, the Trojans defensive linemen are in the backfield. They're just not making the tackle, getting to the mesh point. McGinney able to pick his way through there. Good gain on first down.
That'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Raiders. Found a little bit, again, getting outside the tackles. As Darryl said a moment ago, nobody running in between the tackles with Kotzman there. They found some luck, and Kotzman makes his presence known. Wasted opportunity, if you're asking me. If you're going to jump offside, you at least hit somebody.
Yeah.
He was going for the quarterback. So a 5-yard penalty. Seen a few mistakes here for the Trojans. They're going to have to overcome it once again, as that'll move the ball up to the 30-yard line. 11-13 and counting, 2nd quarter. 2 wide receivers near side. H-back just to the left of the running back McGinney. He'll stutter step. There's Kotzman trying to make up for it. Able to get out of his grasp, but helped out by the Trojans on that far side as Joel Jebber comes in to help make the play. And they'll limit him just to a gain of 1.
Just good team defense, BJ. We've seen it all year.
Swarming, you got to be there in case the other guy. Never assume that you'd want to assume 72 gets a hold of somebody, they're going down, but you can't assume that and get to the play and make it. Wide receiver near side, Vinny Pyle. And Lusker, the H-back. The T-back is Mario McGinney. Quarterback's Cal Turla. Tight end near side as well as they'll flip Lusker to the right side. Play clock at 6. Turn, handoff, and then upended. There's Anthony Pike once again. He gets under there. Kotzman falls on top, but Anthony Pike comes submarine and trips him up for a loss of 1 on the play. Was watching film, trying to get a feel for the Trojans. I cover another team throughout the season, so don't always get to watch you guys, but Anthony Pike has got 1 speed and 1 motor, and it's go.
Yep.
And he's out there getting them fired up. I would have loved to play with a dude like that.
Yeah, he's a wonderful linebacker.
Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 10. Straight drop Turlip. And they ran down the middle. Oh, it's caught right in front of the defender. Kester was going up to make the interception and take it away and not able to do it as Carter Chance comes down with it. A big play for the Raiders. as that is a 20-yard completion all the way down, 21-yard completion all the way down to the 9.
Yeah, Trojans in good position, just Raiders made a play.
First and goal from the 9 for the Raiders. Turn, handoff, McGinney. Kotzman's there along with playside D end. Drake Kotzman brings him down for a big loss, so it'll be second down and goal, and he loses 5 on the play all the way back. Okay, say 4, all the way back to the 13.
Yeah, I think the story of this game is going to be whatever defense breaks first, because right now both offenses are very, very, very slow to start.
Raiders have had more big plays so far in the first going of this one. Trojans had an 8-play drive a moment ago, but stalled out. Musgrove motion. Handoff right side, McGinney. Picking his way. And he'll be across the 5 up near the 4-yard line. 9-yard carry up to the 5. See where they mark this ball down. They will place it just beyond the 5, a gain of 9. Fourth down or third down.
It's that same play they had success on a while ago coming the other way. Just they seal that end and just hat on a hat out there, and Trojans need to figure out a way to get off a block.
Yeah, that stretch play is able to find a little bit of some lanes there. There looks like they're going to wait. Coach Smith going to wait and take a timeout here to talk about this third down and goal from the 4 when we return in 30 seconds on Girard Sports Live.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
Third down and goal from the 4-yard line, just inside the 5 here for the Frontenac Raiders. Again, trying to take advantage of another Trojan miscue, a fumble a couple of plays ago. The Raiders had it inside the 25 on their second drive of the game, but they coughed it up right back to the Trojans. This time they convert on a 3rd and long on a 21-yard pass, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal from the 5. Turlip, turn, handoff, McGinney trying to stretch it out there again. Trojans able to stretch it out. Nothing doing. As the Trojans are going to force a 4th down decision here, as the Raiders not much there on the carry by McGinney. No gain on the play in the 9th play of this drive coming up.
And just like we talked about, BJ, they ran into that stretch play again, and our DN was able to shake a blocker, our outside linebacker, to force everything, just kept stretching it out.
Raiders are going to try a field goal. Vinny Pyle will come on to kick that field goal, I believe.
Watch out for trickery.
2 or 8.
Yeah, it's Vinny.
Yeah. And this Trey Kramer to hold. And it is a 22-yard field goal for the Raiders. Snaps back, holds down, kick is on its way. Never had a chance. Trojan defense holds back against the wall twice. They've overcome it. It's a rough way to live, but they will take it. And so the 22-yard field goal falls short, 7:52 to play. In this first half, the Trojans will start this drive deep inside their own territory. Actually, it's the rule that brings it out to the 20 to start the drive.
That's even better.
Yeah, they put that rule in. They kind of snuck that one in one day. I don't know. I missed that, and I don't know the theory behind it, honestly. I wish I did. So here come the Trojans. They're going to start at their own 20-yard line. 7:52 to play, first half. They need to get something going offensively. Get this monkey off their back. Turn, handoff. And Kester going to fall forward. Good run on first down. He'll gain 5.
Just need to string a few plays together, honestly. Right now, they're kind of just lethargic. Not the Girard offense that we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing them put up big points in the first quarter. So just get things started here, get the momentum going.
About 2 inches of rain came in the first quarter, and that did slow them down a hair. We'll see if they can crank it up here with the weather cooling off but warming up with the rain. Not much there on second down. A little bit of extracurricular after. It'll be just a gain of 1 for Kester. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
And we haven't seen a whole lot of other than base offense here, BJ. We haven't seen that inside handoff or a whole lot of read option.
Moore will be the wide receiver to the near side. Scales to the far side. Davidson in motion and free 5, and that'll move the chains for the Trojans as the Raiders. Devin Kotzman jumps off sides. Trojans will pick up the 1st down to keep this drive moving. Across the 35, 30 up to the 31-yard line. In a fast-moving first half, both teams keeping it on the ground for the most part. Nigaman with Kester just behind him in that pistol. Harrison motion, turn, handoff. Nope, keep it. Nigaman's going to have to catch the edge. Trying to shake off one defender. His big body breaking through. Luke Nigaman rumbling, stumbling up to the 49-yard line. Holy mackerel. It's a 20-yard pickup by Luke Nigaman, what should have been a 1-yard loss. And the big fella gets it done right there.
They're going to go quick here because they see something that they like, but Luke with a great play. Nothing else you could say about it, really.
Up to the 49-yard line, they do go tempo. Turn, handoff, Kester, bounce off right side, another big gash, another big run, backside going forward across the 40. And it's a 14-yard gain for Alex Kester. And back-to-back plays add up to 34 yards, and the Trojans are going. And now the Raiders want to take a timeout to stop this. Trojans getting the crowd fired up. The Trojan offense doing exactly what you called for, Darryl, and now they're in business. As the Raiders take a break to try to stop that momentum, their second of the half. We'll take it along with them back in 30 seconds on Girard Sports Live.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
6:06 to go, first half. First sight of the Trojan offense here in this ball game so far. As they are driving on the Raiders after getting a big stop defensively. Turn, handoff right side. Modest gain across the 35 up near the 34-yard line. Tad bit chippy out there at times. And a gain of 3 on first down. We'll maybe call it 4 for Kester.
Yeah, not as many yards on that play, but it's still what you like to see. Another gain, positive yards, as we keep talking about. You just want to keep moving forward. Do not stall out.
2 wide receivers to the left. Scales along with Aiden Damon. He'll be in the slot. Harris goes in motion. Turn, handoff again. Nope, keep it. Nigaman going forward. And a good run on second down and 6 for Luke Nigaman. It'll be shy of a first down to bring up a 3rd down and 1 as he picks up 5 on second down.
I don't think you do anything different here. I think you go back to Luke. He's kind of got the hot hand right now with that long gain earlier, refusing to go down.
Tough to defend too with the and that pitch back still in pitch relationship there. If he's able to get on the edge, he'll be able to kick it. Davidson in motion. Now he'll stop and reset as they'll check over to the sidelines on 3rd down and short. Inside 5 minutes to play first half in a low-scoring affair in this 3A regional. Play clock at 4. Ball nearly fumbled. Nigaman off to hold on to it. Stiff arm again. And Nigaman will get the first down across the 25. Just a load to take down. And he needed 1. He got 3. That's a game changer. You got a running a quarterback with that much size and the stiff arm right at the line of scrimmage. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're still struggling with a little bit of ball control. Yep. That ball's pretty loose at the mesh point when Nigaman's receiving it from Jarbo. It's just that ball's bouncing around a little bit.
Just inside the 25-yard line for the Trojans. First down and 10. Handoff, Kester. And he's able to fall forward across the 20. He'll have 6 yards just real quickly, maybe 5 yards. We'll give him 5. It'll bring up second down and 5. The time starts to become something you think about here at this point. 20 yards out, inside 4 minutes. Trojans, I believe, with 2 timeouts.
And we get the ball second half. We could get a 2-for-1 here.
Pistol set once again for Nigaman with Kester just behind him. 2 wide receivers far side. Harris will go in motion. Check back other side. Handoff, Kester backside spinning. He'll have the first down. Driving forward across the 15 up near the 10-yard line. And it's a 10-yard gain on second down and 5 for Alex Kester. He did it with some second effort.
Yep, going tempo again here. Some sort of trap play there, BJ. The guard pulled around and opened a monstrous hole for Kester to exploit.
First down and goal from the 10. He got just beyond the 10-yard line. Kester again, head of steam, bounces off the tackler. Driving near the goal line, he'll be just short. And it'll be second down and goal from the 3 when they reset the ball. The 11th play of this drive. Again, Kester into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans! A 2-yard plunge by Alex Kester gets the Trojans on the board for the first time tonight, and a big sigh of relief from the Trojan O.
Yeah, big sigh of relief from the Trojan press box up here, too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
11-play drive for the Trojans. It started with 7:52 on the clock, so nearly took 5 minutes. It took 4:53 off the clock.
Well, here, special teams, this 1 point could be huge.
Humble to kick it, Nigaman to hold. Snaps back, holds down, kick is on its way, and it is nothing but the back of the net for the Trojans. Trojans strike first in this one. Just under 3 to play in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds on Girard Sports Live.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Trojans go 11 plays, 80 yards. Took 4:53 off the clock, capped it off on a 2-yard touchdown run by Alex Kester. 2 of his 44 yards on that drive. The 2 that counted for sure. And 7-0 Trojans after a humble PAT was good. He'll kick it away, Will Humble. He'll find a little bit of a middle part of that return team. McGinney, far side return. Picking his way through and cross the 25. That's where the Raiders will start this drive. That wasn't McGinney, rather. That was Caden Chance on the carry. The Trojan defense, boy, they've done their part. They've been put in a couple of precarious situations and overcome it each time.
Well, there's a reason why they've allowed 8 points on an average this year and give up 21 points to Columbus in the first game.
Yeah, 3 shutouts as well on the season. Hand off McGinney right through there. The Trojans quickly, and that's Anthony Pike running the alley from that inside middle linebacker spot, and a big loss on it. 5 yards on the run by McGinney.
Looks like Pike's been watching little WWE and little John Cena. You can't see me. I don't know how long the refs will let him get away with that.
Well, they'll point it out. Hey, there's the Galena Sports Live crews here.
Crossover.
28-yard lines where this one started, and they lose 5 on first down. Turn, handoff again, McGinney, more penetration. Pike comes in there, and then the Trojans, and Kester comes running down inside to make that play as well, along with, excuse me, it was Jaden Norris. It was 19, not 12, and Jaden Norris coming from that linebacker spot, a loss of 1 on the play, and they're going backwards.
Defensive line just doing their job. cutting up those holes and letting Anthony Pike and Jaden Norris and the rest of the linebacking crew free roam, basically getting anything they want. Also calling the right blitzes here, too, letting everyone get in the backfield.
Timeout going to be taken. Minute 43 to play. I'll leave it here. I'm going to put together this little piece I wanted to share with you guys. We did comparisons. We did a keys to the game. I put together a little quarterback comparison between a couple of guerrilla greats. You see Neil Philpott on one sideline, Mark Smith on the other sideline. And I realized a few things as you look at some of these numbers. Career passing yardage, Neil number 3 all-time at Pitt State, Mark Smith number 5. I mean, they are in the top 5, top 10 almost every category. There are two things that I recognize in that. You will put the rushing totals in there. It makes a big difference, too, for Neil Philpott. It was a 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard passer multiple times. The entire career that Neil Philpott, all but 1 year, Andy Major, another Pitt State Hall of Famer, was on that same team, and they split time. And had he not had to split time, Neil Philpott might have broken every record known to man. But I just couldn't help myself with these two playing each other.
I'm a touch biased on Neil Philpott, but Neil Philpott was Cam Newton before Cam Newton. If the NFL had been changed a little bit back then, you'd have been seeing some Neil Philpott on some Sundays.
Glad I got to use that. I'm notorious for putting stuff like that together and forgetting to do it in a broadcast.
And one thing I wanted to say real quick, BJ, our defenses went back to a 3-man front.
Shotgun for Turlup. He'll look to throw it. Pressure comes. Snotted out of the air, and Anthony Pike nearly there. Coming up to make that play for the Trojans, I believe, to swat it out of the air was number 25, Aiden Damon, coming off that far sideline, and a 3-and-out by the Raiders. And the momentum has fully shifted in favor of the Trojans after a little bit of it was going the Raiders' way early on.
Kind of comes with the rain stopping as well. Rain hasn't started to come down. It's hopefully stopped for the night. We hope that it's done and hope that the Trojans stay on this train track that they're on right now.
Should have good field position as Alex Kester stands just beyond his own 45-yard line. They'll get it back, nearly blocked. It might have been tipped. In fact, they did indicate it was tipped. And it will roll dead inside. And what in the world is he doing? Ethan Brooks comes up there and hits that ball out of bounds. Boy, you just stay away from it. Lucky it goes out of bounds, and the Trojans will have good field position. Their best of the game, in fact, as the Trojans will start at their – where do they put that down at?
Stuck to 49.
It went out of bounds prior to the 50. They'll give it to the 49 just inside Trojan territory. Plenty of time on the clock, 91 seconds to play in this first half. The GM Bank halftime show coming your way in just a little bit. We'll recap this first half, take a look at some halftime numbers as well. Get these two guys next to me. Expert analysis.
There you go.
We'll talk to the Galena Sports guys and see what happened to the Bulldogs last night. Columbus trying to keep their season alive. They'll have either Wellsville or Hayden next week. Here's Nigman. Minute 31 to play in this first half. Handoff up the middle. Kester. Another good run and up the hustle to the line of scrimmage again. Time. Trojans do have a timeout. Kester picks up 7. And they're making a 3rd down and 3. Clock continues to tick.
Does Trojans use a timeout, BJ? Or they still have all 3?
I believe they used one early on. Harrison motion. Handoff again. Kester. He'll get the first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily. Hometown clock crew was on top of that one. As needed 3, got more than that. He picks up 5 yards. Across the 40, up to the 38. They'll wind the clock.
Before they spot the ball.
Yeah, Whitehat was quick on that one as well to wind that clock for play. Get out of the way. Nigman get a pass on 1st and 10. Plenty of time. Gets his shoulder square. Throws it underneath. Woo! That was really close. Nearly intercepted. Coming in front of that one was Gavin Witham. And Witten nearly walked away with that one. Maybe forced that one in there, did Luke.
Yeah, Bo sat down right in the middle of that zone right there, but Frontenac did a good job of just kind of collapsing on both sides of him. Tight window.
Stops the clock with 46 seconds to play.
Let's just run it, BJ. What do you think?
And that's one way. There's a couple. You got a couple options. You can run it, or you can pass it.
What did Coach Garman you say about passing?
3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Right. Let's just run it.
David will be the wide receiver near side. He'll send Davidson in motion. Roll out. Plenty of time. Nigman now he'll get flushed. Flip it underneath. Trying to throw it back against the grain. Then he is rocked out of bounds. That should be a little bit of extracurricular there. That's Jacob Holt. That's a cousin of mine. He's not what he's supposed to be doing. A little bit of a late hit, and he'll get away with it.
For now.
And it will be a incomplete pass back-to-back time. Stops the clock with 41 seconds.
So, what that allows you to do is you basically got to throw it now on third down, too. But you got 2 downs to get 10 yards.
Still got a ways to get inside field goal range, I believe.
Yep. With
a stiff north wind. Davidson in motion, hard count, free 5. Do that a couple more times. They'll move it forward 5 yards across the 35. It'll be third down at 5. Makes it a little more manageable and certainly in 4-down territory.
33-yard line. Now you're closer and you still have 2 timeouts to work with, so maybe a more wide open playbook here.
Twins near side. Scales of the wide out in the slot is Damon. Harris in motion. Loose ball. Nigma's going to fall on top of it. Now you want to just
get in the locker room.
Yep. Coach Smith, the clock's not moving. Clock wasn't moving for a while. Coach Smith did it with magic to get it going over there on that far sideline. But it will be a 4th down. I thought maybe they would take a timeout. They don't. Clock continues to move. It looks like the Trojans might try to take a little bit of medicine. They could snap this with about 4 seconds on it, and that was about what it would take to run this out at halftime. We'll see. If you got one to the end zone, do it.
We haven't seen Caleb Scales deep yet.
No back. Got to have time to throw it. Pressure comes. Screen, throw it underneath for Davidson. He's got it open. Got to get outside, make one guy miss. He does. Block comes from Kester down the sidelines, and that out of bounds with 1 second.
Flag.
Penalty flag comes. Coach Smith out right now is thinking, well, those 1-2 seconds where the clock didn't run is certainly a difference. Penalty flag on the far sideline at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be an illegal procedure against the Trojans, so a moot point. Good play call. I like the play call. It gives you a chance to get a speedy guy in open field, but
that illegal motion, we send a guy in motion about every play, and Trojans have a tendency, if you watch one of their wing backs or their tailback or somebody's kind of always leaning forward just a little bit to snap the ball, and they get us on 2 guys in motion at one time.
They set the ball, wind the clock, and that's the half. It is a quick one and a wet one and a close one here in Girard as the Trojans and the Raiders, the rivals, trying to keep their football seasons alive. We've still got a half of football to play. The rain's still coming down moderately here in Girard. That'll be part of our conversation here on the halftime show. We'll recap it as well and get your numbers. All that more still to come on the GM Bank Halftime Show. GM Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. We'll talk about a close one here in Girard when we return on the GM Bank Halftime Show on Girard Sports Live.
Do you have a construction project that just needs that custom touch? Are you looking for a contractor who can get it all done? Roof to floors and everywhere in between? Then call Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience, DS Construction specializes in new construction, roofing, renovations, and more. There's no job too big or small. For a free estimate, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209. That's 620-724-0209.
Whether you're suffering from the latest bug going around or have a chronic illness that needs regular monitoring by a physician, Girard Medical Center clinics offer quality care for your family close to home. 5 clinics are available throughout Crawford, Cherokee, and Bourbon counties, including Girard, Arma, Frontenac, Cherokee, and Uniontown. Our express care is also available Saturdays, Sundays, and most holidays for the unexpected illnesses that arise. Girard Medical Center clinics and express care, caring for our communities one patient at a time.
Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your fields and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. With Murphy Seed, you'll get year-round, hands-on, customized service. To learn more, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy and Murphy Seed. Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Welcome back out here, Frank Jameson Field in Girard, the side of this Class 3A regional championship game. The Girard Trojans 9-0, the Frontenac Raiders 6-3. B.J. Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod back here with this one. The Trojans in a bit of a dogfight with this Raiders team, and a little bit of playing against the weather, playing against a feisty team as well. Trojans came in plenty fired up, and their defense has settled in to be a factor. The offense took a little while to go, but when we saw them go, I expect to see more of that in the second half. Here's how we got to where we are as we take a look at our Eye on the Game, brought to you by Kennar Eye Care. As we take a look back at the half, Kennar Eye Care is making sure we can see and you can see and how everything's going as well. Kennar Eye Care, they've got locations in Pittsburgh and Girard. They're here to help you with your valued customers. To learn more, go to KennarEyeCare.com. I visited Kennar Eye Care after a night here in Frank Jameson Field. They've got better lights since then. But I was looking across the way, and I couldn't see that right side pylon, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have to go get some glasses. And I've had glasses ever since. So thanks to Shane and the crew there at Kennar Eye Care. Here's how we got to where we are. The Trojans won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, so they'll get the ball coming out of the locker room. Raiders would have the opening drive, and they would go 3 and out. That Trojan defense did not give them much on that first drive, kind of set the tone in that one. Trojans would get it back, and they would start their drive at their own 25-yard line with 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. But a mishandled snap on a punt through the hands of Luke Nigaman would fall to the ground. They would fall on top of it. Turnover on downs technically with 8 minutes to go in the first half, and the Raiders were in business. They could not take advantage of it. Back-to-back fumbles. They'd fumble it, fell on top of it. The second one, they weren't as fortunate, and I believe Jaden Norris fell on top of that one, and the Trojans had the ball back. Put together a decent drive that started at their own 21-yard line with 7:21 to play in the – when was that? In the first quarter still. The first quarter went by quickly, but it's – finally slowed down a little bit when we got to the second quarter. The Trojans put together that drive, went 8 plays, but another fumble as they end up having 3 turnovers in that first half to Girard. So 3 turnovers, you're still up by a touchdown. You probably feel okay. Turned it over with 2:39 to go in the first quarter. The Raiders get it back. Put together what was their best drive of the first half, but still not much. They had a 10-yard carry by McGinney, one of a couple of double-digit runs by the Raiders in that first half. They eventually have to punt it with 3 seconds left. The Trojans get it back with 3 seconds. They take it to the quarter, and then the first play of the second quarter, as Adam Shireman had come in to spell Kester, he coughs it up on the second carry of the game for him, right back to the Raiders, and they take advantage of that one, drive it. They convert on a 3rd and long on a 21-yard completion to get it deep down inside Trojan territory. In fact, they had it first and goal, but could not get it into the end zone. Ended up settling for a 22-yard field goal attempt, but that one never had a chance. It was 7:52, the Trojans keeping the shutout going. They would get it back, and that's when Girard would go to work at their own 20-yard line. 7:52 to go in the first half, and they would go 11 plays. They did have an offsides that got a first down to keep the drive alive, in fact. But 11 plays, 80 yards, took 4:53 off the clock, and punched in a 2-yard touchdown run by Alex Kester. Kester had 44 yards carrying the football on that drive alone. 2:51 to go in the first half of the Trojans strike first and score with a PAT as well from Humble. 7-0, force a 3-and-out. And then the Girard doesn't get it back with 91 seconds to play in the first half, but not able to get much going. That's how we go to halftime. So you got your halftime stats come your way, a little bit of analysis as well as we look to get things going in the second half of this one. It's still raining here in Girard. 7-0 your score after a half of play. We're back in 3 minutes on the GM Bank Halftime Show on Girard Sports Live.
The place to be before or after the game is Heroes Barbecue. Come and experience Jim and Tammy Jarvis's family-friendly atmosphere and, of course, that mouth-watering barbecue. Heroes is the place for that great grill food you love, a kids menu, and daily specials, including those delicious ribs. Heroes is open for lunch and dinner Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and in the evenings on Fridays and Saturdays. Of course, stop by all day on Sunday. Be sure to like Heroes Barbecue and Catering on Facebook. Stop by and see them at 820 South Summit in Girard and see what all the fuss is about at Heroes Barbecue.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings, leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do-it-yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Now more than ever, Croccan is dedicated to helping keep families connected, workers to collaborate, students to learn, and businesses to continue to serve their customers, and even for doctors to treat their patients. Croccan's reliable high-speed fiber-to-the-home network means no buffering movies or grainy video conferences, no matter how many people are using it. Call or go online to sign up for the fastest and best internet in Southeast Kansas. Croccan. If you need to stay connected, you need Croccan.
Back out here on the GM Bank Halftime Show, BJ Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod as the Trojans lead it by that score you see here at halftime. Rain continuing. Diehard Frontenac fans over there. We have some diehard fans here in the stands as well. And all of our diehard fans right now, about 720 of you strong on your screens at home. We appreciate that. That is awesome. And the Trojans trying to get one here and keep their season alive. take a look at our halftime stats, and this will pretty much give you a little bit to talk about if the Trojans are able to keep this going and keep these numbers going on the round. But 19 carries, 110 yards for Alex Kester, 4 carries for 30 yards for Luke Nigman, and really Kester's were hard-earned yards on those 4. Those runs by Nigman were big ones. That 20-yard scamper able to keep that drive alive and get the touchdown for them. Your first half thoughts, obviously, you're playing against a little bit of the rain. That first quarter was kind of a moot point, went by quickly, and then the Trojans finally got something going.
Yeah, I'm just going to say the scoreboard doesn't show it, but the stats will tell you that Girard's in total control of this if we just quit turning it over. That ball's been slick out there on that wet turf. Just limit turnovers. We're winning the trenches. I know I don't want to steal Daryl's thunder. He likes to talk about the trenches, so I'll just turn it over to Daryl.
Daryl?
Yeah, winning the offensive line battle. I mean, that's really the case of it right now. I mean, the Frontenac offensive line is, they're creating some space, but they just can't keep it going all the way down the field. And then the Girard offensive line finally got it going, finally got the train back on the tracks, and we're able to sustain it all the way down. Of course, we've had turnover issues. That was the key to the game. But, fix those small little issues, hold on to the ball, and this should kind of, I want to say, a coasting second half.
We'll see if that happens. The Raiders, when they did have a little bit of success, were able to get outside of that tackle box. Drake Kotzman had a big first half, roaming down inside the middle, and they started to kind of run away from him a little bit. And when they did, they had a little bit of success on the edge.
Right, and when Trojans went into kind of a fast-paced 2-minute type tempo offense, the chains just kept rolling down the field. So I'd look maybe to see a little bit more tempo in the Trojan offense in the second half.
Well, if the Trojans are able to get a win here, they would move on to the next round. They would host likely next week as well, as the 2 teams that would be coming their way were either Wellsville or Hayden. Might look on our phones here and see if we can't find some of those scores for that around the area, but you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got at the end of the halfway through the second quarter, Wellsville's up 13 on Hayden, who has 6, and then Holton is winning 21-0.
So Holton, tell us how you really feel, Murph. Wellsville scores a little bit surprising perhaps to me, but Trojans getting ready to come back out of the locker room here. That hometown crowd will welcome back onto a soggy field here at Frank Jameson Field. But the furthest east team host in the next round and the furthest west team host in the one following that. So we'll see how all that transpires. Obviously, Trojans still need to take care of business here in this one. Just a little bit away from the second half action. We'll try to find a few more of those scores to pass away as well as we come back. Second half right after this on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
The farmer's friend in the field is Crop Care. With their industry-leading crop scouting, Crop Care can catch diseases, bugs, and other yield-robbing issues before they affect your bottom line. Crop Care also offers grid soil sampling and plant sampling with lab-tested results, giving you an unmatched advantage. With coverage across the entire region, Crop Care has insight that can help you avoid problems before they start. Give Kurt or Josh Harris a call at 620-687-4795. Crop Care, the name says it all.
Here at the Smith Agency, we love being part of our hometown, and we know it's the people who make our community great. That's why this year, we're on the search for our hometown hero. Hometown heroes are individuals who go above and beyond impacting people's lives. Hometown heroes are children, parents, seniors, they're leaders, and they're everywhere. Nominate your hometown hero, and at the last home game of the season, they'll be recognized with a $100 gift card to Heroes Barbecue. Contact our office and nominate your hero today.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student-athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
Back out here on the GM Bank Halftime Show, BJ Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod from Frank Jameson Field in Girard. Trojans have taken the field. They do their mandatory 3-minute warm-up. Trojans are over it. They're ready to play. I'm over the 3-minute warm-up as well. It makes broadcast terrible. But other scores to pass along to you. You mentioned that one. It's in the that one was from the first quarter, that 13-6 score. Humboldt up over Osage City, 14-0. Like to see a local team have some success there. Derby taking care of Lawrence, 27-0. Kind of outside of our area. Coffeyville still alive. They're in their first quarter. That last update, 7-0 playing against Tawanda Circle out west. And then obviously last night's games were on this one. I guess it was 45-6 that Andale beat Pratt. See, they're normal.
Huh.
That's normal. We got a halftime score of 7-0 here in this one. The Trojans, 3 turnovers in that first half, but still the lead. One on a special teams early on. It went through Luke Diggeman's hands. Adam Shireman fumble, and then a fumble late as well for the Trojans. And so they had to overcome some of those mistakes early on, but once they kind of got ahead of steam going, the rain has picked up just a little bit since they went to halftime as well. And we were talking here about halftime adjustments and Coach Philpott with all of his experience. I mean, he has been on one of the most prolific offense, the most prolific offense at the time as a quarterback, and then coached some of the most prolific offenses as an offensive coordinator. He's a football guy, thinks football, and knows how to make those adjustments, prepared and ready to go. I think these two teams are some of the best coached teams, and probably each made a little bit of some adjustments there at the locker room.
Yeah, I've said it about every halftime since you let me talk on the air, BJ. Coaches get paid at the halftimes of every football game.
Well, we'll see if they can cash those checks here tonight. Again, Trojans won the toss, so they elected to defer to the second half. They'll start this second half with it. Second half kickoff, just like the first, is brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics. Get creative when it comes to gift buying. Get your friends and family Christmas right around the corner, Murph. Good time to go get a ceramic piece, or maybe you can sign up for classes. Larrett Ceramics, 620-724-8442.
I'd watch the onside right here.
All right. Bold statement. Vinny Pyle to kick it away. He'll pooch it. Even better. Fair caught going to be called for, and caught on the far sidelines by Caleb Scholes. And smart play there. Excuse me, that's not 24. It's 14 for the Trojans. Making that play is Jake Towner. And the Trojans will have pretty good field position. I'm going to give you a half a win on that one, Murph.
Well, and that was good coaching, too, because I saw, I believe it's Coach Cowrie down here telling his special teams, fair catch it if they decide to go for anything like that. Make sure you get down with that ball. Do not run if you're not an experienced runner.
So Girard will start at their own 37-yard line. Two wide receivers near side. More in the slot. Handoff. Kester lowers the boom. He'll fall for it. Good run on first down. As Kester able to run over the would-be tackler of Gavin Whitten. And a gain of 6 on first down. We'll bring up 8. Second down and 4.
Yeah, we'll take 6 yards every first down.
Yes, sir.
Alex, nothing fancy, just an inside run, lower your shoulders, and get 6 yards.
Harrison Davidson are the wings. The quarterback is Luke Nigma. The tailback is Alex Kester. That's pretty standard as what they've ran the first half. They'll do it again here. This time run a inside Kester. First down near the 50-yard line as he'll fall forward. And that is a gain of 6 yards on second down and 4. And there's your 6-yard run again. Just shy of the 50 up to the 49-yard line. That was one play away from being a big one.
Yeah, but I want to show your attention right here. We're going to have a perfect shot right down the line of scrimmage here. Watch this Trojan offensive line when they fire off the ball. That there's 2-3 yards before Frontenac has a chance to get to Kester.
Raiders are undersized on that interior line. Trojans aren't huge either, and they'll have a legal procedure. As you're going to have 2 guys in motion again, I'm sure.
Fired off too quick.
They're going to move back 5 and actually give you a better shot of it, Murph. A little more right down the line.
I think the range switched directions.
Chief meteorologist Jess Murphy.
Or I turned around.
Coming out of the northwest now, not the northeast anymore. Still doesn't matter for us in the press box.
That's right. Legal procedure. So it'll bring up a first down and 15 inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Davidson will halt, turn, hand off Kester. He'll get back to the penalty yardage. They'll get driving forward and then a little bit more. It'll be a gain of 6 on the play up to the 50-yard line. And Kester's just 6 and 6.
Yeah, and 3 yards. What a push from that offensive line.
A little bit shaken up on the play is Witten. And it'll bring up a second down and 9 for the Trojans. Girard stayed on that drive that they were able to score on, stayed ahead of the sticks. They did overcome 1 third down and got a false start offsides on that one to keep it alive. Scott Moore will be the wide receiver, tight to the near side. Scales to the other side. Send a man in motion, now turn, handoff Kester. Spinning, still on his feet. Vinny Powell gets a hold. Kester saying not yet. And he'll fall forward across the 45 up near the 47-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and much more manageable here as he's able to pick up 7 yards on second down and 9.
Hard running by Alex Kester right now. I mean, like you said, 6 yards of carry, 6 yards of carry, 6 yards of carry. And a lot of that is coming from him just being an athlete and pushing forward and staying strong.
Third down and 2 for the Trojans. Scales to the near side. Tied in near side is Moore. Kester just directly behind Nigaman. Run option this way. Nigaman trying to pick his way through. He's got the first down up near the 45. 35 rather, across the 40, and it's a good run on third down and 2. He picks up 7 and a first down.
Yeah, Bill Snyder made that offense so famous with K-State.
Colin Klein back in the day.
Yeah, it's 11 on 11, hat on a hat. When you keep handing the ball off, you play 10 versus 11. When you talked about it earlier, we have an athlete like Luke Nigaman to be able to carry the ball. What a weapon.
Raiders will run on Gage Peterson. Big fellow will come in on that right side, trying to give them a little more girth along the defensive line. Davidson in motion. Oh, man.
Yep. Speaking of Cousins.
Bo Harris jumping a little early on that other wing. That's so much motion and movement. I like it a lot, but it has lent itself to multiple of these penalties. I think that's probably the 4th one of this game, and that's not ideal.
And it's just, I don't know if you can even see it on camera. It's such a slight motion. Bo just kind of leaned forward in his stance, and that's all it takes.
And I'm sure well-versed coaching staff on that far side let them know to be looking at that. They probably copped that on film and pointed out to this crew, and they're eagle-eyeing it. Harris will go in motion this time. Her hand off Kester. What was lost in that was Kester burst through the line and was probably gone.
Yep.
Because I don't think they had that defended very well. They'll get back the penalty yards on a 5-yard carry.
I mean, nothing too fancy so far. Not going to the pass, not going away from the run, just motion across. And right now, the Frontenac Raiders are very biting hard on that pitch play, that pitch read that Luke often runs.
I think you're right. The wind did maybe turn to the west a little bit, so passing would be pretty precarious in this situation right now. That's probably out of the playbook going this direction. We'll see. Second down and 10. Davidson again in motion. Again, handoff Kester. He'll wiggle his way for a couple. Pretty conservative play call there by the Trojans. And it will just be a gain of 1 and a third down and long here.
Yeah, I've said it all year. I don't know if these are true read options or if that's a called handoff, but if Luke pulls that back out of Kester's gut, he's got the whole corner with a pitch man beside him. But like
third?
Right, we said all year, I trust Luke's read.
Third down and 9 for the Trojans. Trying to keep this drive alive. Hard count, nearly got him at dead. Free 5. And that new guy just came in, Peterson, I mentioned. And that's tough. You're a D lineman, you come in not used to that cadence, and then you get him with a hard one. He came and leaned across there, and this makes this a big difference, certainly with 4 down aspirations for the Trojans to keep and move the chains. So 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 4 is a huge difference. Clock continues to wind at 7:02 to go third quarter. Quick moving ball game here in Girard.
And it's flat getting with it now.
Lovely day. Davidson will be in the slot to the far side. Kester just behind Nigaman. Option, far side. Nigaman trying to pick his way. Pressure coming from behind. He's tripped up. He'll be close but short of a first down. He'll gain 3.5. And he needed 4. It'll be 4th down and short for the Trojans.
Well, it was there. Great job there by Frontenac to close that, because when he tucked it and went and read that left side, that there was nothing but green turf in front of him, and Frontenac did a great job to close that up.
I will say I think it's the game plan this whole time, though. They had 2 plays there to get this. No way that they're out of 4th down territory.
They need to get it here. 4th down, trying to convert another one. 4th down and 1. Trying to give himself a little breathing room and keep a drive alive. Turn, handoff, Kester. 1st down across the 25, up near the 20, still on his feet. Cuts back against the grain of the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Trojans! A 26-yard touchdown run by Alex Kester. What a nifty move in the open field to keep it going, and the Trojans are up by 2 scores.
Oh, man, the offensive line clears a huge gap for him, and then Alex Kester uses his excellent vision and just makes an athletic play, makes a man miss, gets to the open field, makes another man miss, and prances into the end zone untouched at that last 5 yards.
Point after attempt here from Humble. Pregame will hold. Snaps back, holds down. It was rough, but able to get it. Good hands by Luke and good power through by Humble. The Trojans are up 14-0 on a 20-plus yard run by Alex Kester. And Girard converts on that drive. We're back in 30 seconds on Girard Sports Live.
Here at the Smith Agency, we love being part of our hometown, and we know it's the people who make our community great. That's why this year, we're on the search for our hometown hero. Hometown heroes are individuals who go above and beyond impacting people's lives. Hometown heroes are children, parents, seniors, they're leaders, and they're everywhere. Nominate your hometown hero, and at the last home game of the season, they'll be recognized with a $100 gift card to Heroes Barbecue. Contact our office and nominate your hero today.
Nine-play drive for the Trojans. 9 plays, 63 yards. Capped off on a 22-yard touchdown run by Alex Kester. And a Humble kick. Garrett Humble, point after, makes it 14-0. Humble will send it up in the air as well. Ball that rain has turned on even a little bit more. And a good play there. Scott Moore, I believe, coming in to make that play on special teams. After a modest return there for Caden Chance, and that's where the Raiders will start, Murph. That run by Kester, man, in the open field. A good run at the point of attack, and then that little scoot off to the side, man.
Yeah, just a little stutter step, and when he cut it against the grain, there was no white jerseys to be seen.
All right, rain coming down, and they will be up to the 34-yard line. 5:52 that drive took. That was the first opening drive of the second half, by the way, in case you lost track of that. Turn up, handoff for McGinney. Big body there for McGinney, and he'll be ridden out of bounds. Mario McGinney, he's got some size. Not fun to bring that guy down necessarily with a full head of steam, and he's escorted out of bounds for a gain of 5.
Not a bad athlete either. I mean, in every single sport, that guy is just everywhere. 6'3" or something. Just a tall kid. Very athletic. Moves well for a big man as well.
Just shy of a 5-yard run. We'll call it 4. So to bring up a second down and 6. Turlip under center. 3 men in the backfield. Loose ball, still loose. Turlip falls on top of it. Lucky to do so for the Raiders. And no gain. Bring up 3rd down and 6. You can hear that rain in our crowd mic hitting the stands in front of us. And I'll get a chance to show that Trojan Spirit Squad. They're toughing it out. I wouldn't do it yet, but when you get a chance. 3rd down and 6. Trojans trying to steal 100% of the momentum and get the ball back for that offense. Turlip, straight drop, trying to pass. Pressure coming. Jaden Norris flushing. Now Turlip will step up. Hit from behind. Nearly intercepted. Anthony Pike. All the bodies were there. Pike ran into his counterpart at that spot for the linebacker spot as well, Justin Ferguson. Those guys kind of ran into each other and came down, but I think Pike's the one that probably got the deflection. The chase was from Norris.
Yeah, Norris had him from behind and put a little hit on him right then. And then hit Pike right between the 5 and the 0, I do believe.
So 3 and out by the Raiders, and the Trojans will get it right back Oh, fake punt. Trying to get the first down. They're going to. That's a good play call. Now he'll come up and make ball. Ball's loose. Ball's still loose. And the Trojans will wait for the call from the officials. Trojan football. Alex Kester's got it all the way down the field. Still waiting on a call from the guys in stripes, but I believe, by the way, the offense goes down the field. There it is. Well, a fake punt.
That worked.
But then a fumble at the end. And Kester came up to make that hit, to force that fumble, and then he came in and came away with a football as well.
Yeah. What a great hit.
That's our hit of the game. Hit of the game brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If your car takes a hit like Alex just hit the fake punt, that was Gavin Witten. And take your car to Bradshaw Collision. Bob Bradshaw offering refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Offensive play here for Kester. Off left side, don't want to miss anything. He'll run it up for a gain of 9. Give Bob Bradshaw Collision Repair a call at 620-724-7300.
Talk about someone who's just spread their electricity over the game now. Coming up big, coming up from that punt return spot, laying the boom, getting the hit of the game, recovering the fumble, and now is running all over the Frontenac defense.
Pretty good night so far for Alex Kester. Try to keep it going for the Trojans. 9-yard run. It'll be 2nd down and 1 from the 45-yard line. Davidson flip out. They're going to flip it out to him. That is dangerous as I'll get out. Davidson going to break off one tackle. He'll get the first down. Don't run that one again.
That might have even been a backwards pass.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And if it doesn't get caught, it's a fumble. Scary, scary. I don't think it necessarily supposed to be backwards, but it was. Trojans a little bit slow to get up was Caleb Combs, the left guard, and Trojans will get the first down, but a scary one.
Yeah, that's a scary play. Ethan Davidson, a great athlete, though, able to make the catch and luckily make someone miss and get the first down yardage, not go backwards on that play.
Up to the 43-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Trojans. 3:16 to go, 3rd quarter. Harrison motion. Handoff. Kester just still going, picking his way through. Just strong and able to keep going. He was stood straight up but kept the feet going and able to fall forward. Again, probably was about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Ends up being a gain of 7 on the carry.
Yeah, I got the best seat in the house, BJ, and I just watched someone tackle not Alex. There was just a big scrum. There's Frontenac did a great job of getting to the pile, and Alex somehow gets 4 yards past the pile.
Yep. Well, just tackle somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Hit anyone you can, I guess.
That's right. 2nd down and a long 3 for the Trojans. Staying ahead of the sticks on this drive. Nigaman calls for it. Hand off, a little bit of penetration. Davis is going to try to catch the corner. He gets inside of it. He's gone. At the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ethan Davidson. From 36 yards out, the Trojans are up 20-0.
Yeah, but there's that inside handoff we talked about a little bit earlier. We hadn't seen the Trojans run yet.
And he was able to get inside. They kicked that guy on the edge and cuts back. I said if he can get inside, he's gone, and he was. There's nobody inside this building is going to find him and catch him if he gets in the open field. And Ethan Davidson puts the Trojans up 3 scores. Snaps back, holds down, kick is on its way, and that's a nice little weapon to have as well, consistent. 21 unanswered by the Trojans. 2:23 to play in the 3rd quarter. We're back after this on Girard Sports Live, presented by Crockett.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Humble ready to kick this one away after the Trojans go 4 plays. 46 yards, capped off at a 25-yard touchdown run by Ethan Davidson. Point after attempt by Humble was good. And the Trojans lead at 21-0.
And with the wind pickup, we're going to have someone hold the football.
Humble will call on Hunter Hickman to come in and hold that one. They kick this one up in the air. Fielded at the 17-yard line, near side return. And finally driven back. Caleb Scales helping out. Hickman able to get there actually first as well, the holder of the football, along with helped out by Levi Blair in on the play for the Trojans as well. And the Raiders, now if you're the Raiders here and things have not gone well in this second half, Trojans have scored 2 unanswered in the second half, and then a fumble led to that last one. Just tough spot to be in now for Coach Smith and the Raiders.
Right, and you start talking 3 scores, you're bad weather, you're going to maybe have to start taking some more chances, and this could get away from them really fast if they don't do something right here.
Start at their own 35-yard line with 2:15 to play in the third quarter. Turla, turn, handoff, McGinney, and he'll be caught from behind and brought down for the Trojans. Able to get there to make that play was Joel Jebber, I do believe. Somebody a little bit shaken up on the play.
Yeah, I think he got rolled up on behind. Is that Shireman?
No, that's a 6. That is
Juan Pizarro.
Juan Pizarro shaking up on that play, the 5'10", 180-pound senior. A little bit of pain. Injury timeout, we'll take it. We're back in 1 minute on Girard Sports Live.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings, leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Juan Pizarro going to get a round of applause as he makes his way off the field. As we were talking, you guys have seen him play all season long. He's really been a nice factor for them on that defensive line, and he'll be missed as he goes off under his own power, thankfully. It looked like he was really injured or hurt pretty badly there. And old Todd Brines kept me patched up through a football season all those years ago. Man, how old is Todd? He must be old if he was doing this whenever I was a kid. Turn handoff for McGinney. And boy, there is Kotzman along with some of his closest allies. Able to get back there. Ethan Brooks was running the alley as well. And Drake Kotzman gobbled him up. Anthony Pike, I think, got caught in the wash as well. Not 50, it was 60 actually who got caught in the wash. And on there was Cordell Ceron. Another loss will bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Raiders.
And Sarin would be coming in to replace Pizarro coming in.
And that shows the depth that the Girard Trojans have. Sarin is a backup defensive end, and he's a senior, holding his own out there.
3rd down and 8. Hometown thinks it's going to be a pass. Not even able to do it. Scooped up ball, Trojans. Able to get back there and cause the disruption for Girard. Hassling was Adam Shireman, would not be denied. Forced fumble for Shireman, then gathered up by the Trojans, and the offense will be back in business.
Yeah, nothing fancy there, BJ. Just pure brute through the line, D-line untouched, got to the mesh point.
And you're starting to see a shift or kind of almost an exact turn of what was happening in the first half. Now Girard was able to hold on. That shows their experience. They was turning the ball over in that first half, and Now Frontenac's turning it over and doesn't really have an answer.
Trojans now trying to respond and take advantage of yet another turnover. They'll have great field position as this one will start at the Raider 31-yard line. Handoff, Shireman trying to redeem himself. His third carry of the game, his second one he fumbled. And they got a good run off that left side as he'll pick up nearly 5 on first down.
And we've talked about it all year. The Trojans are 3 or 4 deep every position across the board. I mean, Alex Kester is a stud, don't get me wrong, but Adam Shireman would start for 99% of the other teams around here.
Pretty handy. 4-yard gain. It'll bring up a second down at 6. Scales will be wide out near side. Moore will be in the slot. Again, Davidson near side wing. Harris far side wing. Shireman behind Nigaman. Turn, handoff again for Shireman. He'll fall forward across the 25. Penalty flag going to come in at the end of this play. Could be a hold. We will see. And it'll be a loss. There'll be no gain on the play, I believe, when they finally get this. When the penalty flag sits there, it's likely to be against the Trojans. They're going to call it chop block. Against Girard. It's a big chop block's a big one too.
And it happens about once or twice every game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the reason that's a chop block is you cannot be engaged up high with somebody if somebody else comes into it. You do a lot of team blocking in this type of offense where you're chipping and climbing to the next level. If you chip and get engaged and the other guy comes behind you, that's how that's going to happen. And they put a big emphasis on this about 5 years ago.
Which is well needed. It's a big safety, that chop block. We used to call it a 3-stab in the early 90s.
Stab and cut.
Yeah.
Yep, the old stab and cut play.
When you played the 3 technique on the D-line, it wasn't pleasurable to get hit up high and your knee taken out from underneath you every play.
Yeah, I've got a few cut block stories.
And they didn't even need to cut me, BJ, was the thing. They were just doing it because they thought it was
they
funny.
wanted to.
Right.
Big loss on that play all the way back beyond the 40 to the 41-yard line. So a 2nd and 20 for the Trojans. Handoff. Shireman, he's got all that back and more. Across the 25, up near the 23, maybe 22-yard line. He needed 20, he got 18 on a straight dive. Old school.
Yep, starting to show some, I guess you'll just call it will.
Trying to will it into the next round of the playoffs. We'll head to the final quarter of play to see if they can when we return in 1 minute on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Croccan is dedicated to helping keep families connected, workers to collaborate, students to learn, and businesses to continue to serve their customers, and even for doctors to treat their patients. Croccan's reliable high-speed fiber-to-the-home network means no buffering movies or grainy video conferences, no matter how many people are using it. Call or go online to sign up for the fastest and best internet in Southeast Kansas. Croccan. If you need to stay connected, you need Croccan.
Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
Here we go. Girard trying to take advantage of yet another Frontenac turnover, and the rain continues to come. Handoff, right side, Shireman, first down on 3rd, and they overcome a 2nd down and 20 on a pair of Adam Shireman runs, this time an 8-yard gain up near the 15-yard line, and the Trojans are right back in business. Sorry, bud.
Adam's a strong runner. Like we said earlier, a great weapon to have backing up our starting running back. Just there, 2nd and forever, and he gets it back in 2 plays.
18 yards on the first one and 8 yards on the second one, and the Trojans having 1st down and 10 from the 16-yard line.
And it's flat raining again, BJ.
Yep. Man in motion, turn, handoff against Shireman, big hole left side. He'll be up inside the 10-yard line. And a gain of 6, maybe 7 on 1st down. Shut that door.
And the Trojans have been a second-half team all year, and it shows right now. 3 or 4 deep at every position. And it's showing right now. The conditioning that they do off-season, it's paying off because the Girard offensive line looks to be getting stronger here in the second half.
Yeah, it feels good to get yards when you're an O-lineman. You just kind of want to keep eating. And they are right now. 2nd down and 3, just inside the 10. Handoff. Again, Shireman, feed the beast. He'll rock inside the 5. And second effort spins even closer than that, I believe. Now they're going to call him down around the 4. That far-side line judge. 1st down and goal from the 4-yard line. Take your time here, fellas.
Yep, you get 40 seconds between every play. Let's use 30, 35 of every time.
They may not need it.
But it's cold and wet out there. I might want to. Of course, it's cold and wet on the sideline, too, so it doesn't matter if you're standing in the huddle or.
I might have to see have you pull my car up here to the back door. And
we got Daryl.
1st down and goal from the 4. Turn, handoff again, Shireman. He earned it, he got it. Touchdown, Trojans from 4 yards out. Adam Shireman show on that drive as 22 carried it every single time and plunges in after taking it over from the Frontenac 31-yard line. A 4-yard touchdown. And the Trojans lead it by 4 scores.
I remember talking to some of my friends after some of these games, and they call Adam the human pinball machine the way he runs. He just bounces off tacklers and definitely deserved that touchdown there.
And Al Humble to kick it. They get a free 5 as the Raiders jump off sides. Oftentimes you just don't even mess with it, but they will reset it.
Do you want to go for 2 now, half the distance?
I think you kick it 1. You don't know what the weather's going to be like a week from tonight, and if you're lucky enough to get a win then, what the weather will be the next week. So give your kicker a chance to kick in these conditions. And back them up, maybe. You shouldn't be backing them up. It should be going forward. Yeah. Half the distance.
Or decline it and just stay normal.
It'll move them up just a little bit, make this a 20-yard attempt. Rain's kind of soothing in that microphone. I'm getting a little sleepy.
I still got a
Oh, my gosh. Another offsides.
Well,
that rain's not going to help that at all.
What's half of a half here, BJ?
Half of a half. Well, it was a 2.5-yard line. Now it would be about, I don't know, 3/4 or so.
And they're going to go for it now.
Well, now you can't look give horse in the mouth, and that's they'll have it right on about the half-yard line. Will the Trojans, and the way they've been running the ball, you might as well. Shireman will come out. Yeah, he plunged in for 4 yards. He had 31 yards on that drive. It's pretty easy to figure up because that's where they started that drive, and he carried it each time. And he had more than that, actually, more than 31 because they had a 20-yard penalty. They had a 2nd and 20 at one point. Turn, handoff, Kester. 2-point conversion is good. And it'll make it 29-0. 10:25 to play in this ball game. Girard in full control here for a regional championship.
Girard Medical Center is one of the area's best places to work. Are you a nurse? Does caring for patients on a more personal level sound appealing to you? Then you'll love our lower nurse-to-patient ratio. We also have positions open in other departments. Benefits include state employee health plan, 457 retirement plan with match, life insurance, paid time off, plus employee and family discounts on services. Best of all, your coworkers are like family. For more information, contact Greg Sullivan, Director of HR, or apply online at girardmedicalcenter.com.
Trojans able to go 6 plays, 31 yards. Actually more than that, again, because of the chop block. Backed them up. They had 2nd down and 20, then an 18-yard by Adam Shireman, and a 7-yard run by Adam Shireman, and then they punched it in. 3 runs after that. Now ball loose, still loose, still loose. Grease pig competition as they fall down on that one. It is miserable out there. It would be very difficult to grab a hold of that oblong object, but you still got to do it. Frontenac will start inside some of their worst field position of the night as they will start at their own 19-yard line. Go ahead, bud. Yep.
I think a testament to the win tonight is I'm used to seeing Garrett Humble kick it out of the back of the end zone or into the end zone on almost every kickoff.
Again, that's a nice weapon to have. You start going into the postseason play to have a kicker who can punch it through each time and do those touchbacks. Turn handoff, ball's loose. McGinney trying to fall on top of it. He will, I believe. They get in there to try to sort this out. McGinney has in position to fall on it. It's going to be a big loss on the play. And it's just impossible to hold on to it sometimes. He'll lose about 6 yards on it. They bring up a second down at 16.
And the bad thing for McGinney's when he fell on the ball, Drake Kotzman fell on him. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll make you lose your air. That's a nice weapon as well. We're talking about some of these weapons. They have a guy like that, and he can move a little bit as Drake with that size. That's dangerous. He'll be lined up right over the ball as well. Not easy. Double team, triple teamed. Ball's loose, fumble. Trojans have it. That couldn't have worked out any better. I was watching Kotzman, and he got triple teamed and still was a factor, and then Anthony Pike falls on top of it, and the Trojans adding to the lead. An opportunity to add to the lead anyway.
I agree with you, BJ. After talking about Drake, I just kept my eyes on him, and there was 3 guys blocking him, and he was driving them backwards, right?
Yep. 9:35 to play in the ball game, and the Trojans are right back at it. Girard making a point of this one now, I believe. Caleb Combs has come back. He left the game earlier with a little bit of an injury, and he's still fighting out there as well. First down and goal from the 9. Right side penalty flag comes in there. Adam Shireman's going to run to the end zone, but I believe this one's coming back. That is in the area of a hold. And we're going to...
I think they called another chop block.
Well, it's possible. Got officials down below us. We want to check in with them. Somebody mentioned something about a free blocking zone. That it's not legal to chop block anywhere on the field.
No,
I don't believe.
I think they wish it was.
Yeah, well, wishing. What's that thing about wishing in one hand?
Philpott's asking for an explanation.
He is, and he deserves one because you want to make sure you can go back to your guys and go, hey, this is what you're doing, that they're seeing, that they're creating that infraction back to back. Again, my gut would be this was a note made by the opposing coaching staff. Hey, they're doing this thing. Be sure to watch that in the second half because we had none in the first half. But Trojans will just have to overcome it. Your classic first down and goal from the 23. 24.
It's typically what you see.
Yeah. Turn, handoff, Shireman picking his way forward. Not much there. He'll get 3 on first down and go up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and there comes a point, we've talked about it all year, too, at these Trojans in big leads. Fourth quarter, late in the playoffs, 4 scores. You want to get everybody back in the locker room that come out for sure. We've had 1 or 2 dinged up a little bit. Looks like one's down there by himself with the group. He's fine, but just want to make sure everybody's healthy.
That's right. In motion goes Davidson. Will hand off Shireman. Big hole off left side. He'll rumble forward across the 10 up near the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. And it's a gain of 13. And it'll make a third and this goal a little more manageable. Nix makes the tackle. Trojans right to the ball on a 3rd and goal from the 8. Shireman again, touchdown Trojans. And a lack of desire on that particular play from the guys in white and black as Shireman easily rumbles in from 7 yards out. 2 touchdowns, his second of the half. And the Trojans are going to pick up a regional championship here tonight at home and get another one next week at home.
You could call it a lack of desire and maybe a crumble of will as the Frontenac Raiders are just letting this one go. It's just slipping away from them as the ball is on every single possession.
And Humboldt to punch one more through. Snaps back, holds down. Nigman does a good job to get that one put on the spot and through. 36-0 Trojans. They're better than they were in the first time they met in week 5. They won 35-0. They're up 36-0 with 8:04 to play in the game. We're back in 30 seconds on Girard Sports Live.
For years, James Brumback and Brumback Service Center have been keeping area residents on the road with high quality and fast service. Let's face it, none of us have time for a breakdown, so be sure to stop by Brumbach's for preventative maintenance, oil changes, and tire repairs. Brumbach's is also your place for new tires with a variety of quality brands to choose from. Brumbach Service Center, 312 East St. John in Girard. Call 620-724-6770. Good luck, Trojans, from Brumbach Service Center.
$36-0 Trojans. It was 7-0 at halftime, in case you're just now joining us. And Girard, a nice job of settling things down. It never felt at one moment when things weren't going well. That first quarter was pretty rough weather-wise, but the Girard always felt like they had confidence. And when they finally started to smell a little blood in the water, that tempo offense, get to the ball, and that first drive they scored on in the first half, I think gave them all the motivation they need, and they have taken advantage of that since starting the second half. Scored on the opening drive and haven't looked back in the second half. This one a little bit of a squib kick, fielded at the 19-yard line. Near side return by Kramer. He'll try to find an opening, and he was buried. Host of Trojans there, Ethan Brooks leading the charge.
Yeah, with Frontenac not throwing the ball a whole lot, that's kind of the first time we've talked about Ethan Brooks.
He's been in there. He's coming running the alley, but help keep things from over the top. You want to keep out of that, man. You talk about a guy that looks the part.
And can play the part, too. And wonderful kid.
6'1", 185, and just a junior. There should be some guys on him, I would say, at some point at the next level. Just straight frame and speed.
You got to see him play baseball.
I have. Pretty awesome. Turla to McGinney. Nothing doing. Trojans coming off the backside. Siran right there on top of that one as he came from that near side DN spot right down the line of scrimmage. Made the play. Yeah. Start to get some subs in there. Is Tyler Anderson going to come into the ball game? Freshman will see the field here. And he'll come in to play this corner spot as he replaces Caleb Scales. And he'll flip sides with Damon. Pyle will be the tight end to the far side. 3 men in the backfield behind Turla on second down and 10. Ball's loose again. Still loose. And now the Trojans have it again. Falling on top of it for Girard. Fumble recovered by Hunter Hickman. The 5'5", 150-pound senior able to get the fumble recovery, I believe. And the Trojans are back in business. I've lost count of the turnovers for Frontenac. There's been 3 by the Trojans, I know. Maybe 5? 4?
At least. I'm trying to figure out. Must have been some words said afterwards, or
well,
the refs are talking to Phil Pott.
Well, the Trojans will be with their backups, some of their backups perhaps, into the ball game here on this drive. 7:06 to play in the ball game.
All right, we're going 3 deep right here in the tailback, BJ, and tell me what you think of this kid.
Do what?
Say we're on our third back here. Watch this kid run the football.
He'll hand it off to Brooks. He'll try to pick his way forward for a gain of a couple. Post-game party at Heroes is what I got.
Cool.
Some loaded fries, some nachos, loaded fries or nachos, pulled pork sandwiches. Am I just doing this to see if I can get some free food if I walk in there to Jimbo? You think he'll offer up?
Well,
he's talking to all his whole establishment right now, I'm guessing.
And if you get free food, BJ, you know what I like to do the best is eat.
Oh, I do. We've established this.
Yeah. I'm not very good at very many things, but eating is one thing I am really good at.
Gain of 1 for Brooks. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for Girard. 1 wide receiver near side. Handoff again, Brooks. A little stutter step in the hole. Breaks outside and in open running room. That's a nifty little play there by Brooks. Down the sidelines, and you mentioned it, Murph, and right on cue. It's a 20-yard gain, maybe 22 as we'll give it to Ethan Brooks. And knocked out of bounds, and the Trojans are looking at a 1st and goal once again.
Yeah, not a real big hole there open up front. He just kind of real patient and let the let the lane open up and found a cut off the left side, and upfield he went.
Yeah, all three of these running backs now, it's just not down until you're down mentality, and able to bounce off and feel that pressure. That's an innate skill that you don't always have. Alex Kester's the best at it. You can tell he just kind of feels it. And when you can run out that a complement of running backs, and then you've got a 6'5" quarterback that you can run out there that can pick up first downs as well, it's a tough team to beat.
Their head coach was good at it.
Yes, he was. Brooks, stiff arm far side, trying to bounce outside. And it worked out there. Now he'll stop, come back against the grain, spin off one. Flag coming as well. It's probably going to be a block in the back, is my guess, with all the change in direction there. I began my broadcasting career following that team. Neil Philpott junior and senior year, I left that team. I was in his recruiting class and then went immediately into the broadcast booth and followed them for that entire year. And that was some of the most fun I ever had broadcasting, was watching, at the time, the most prolific offense in the history of NCAA college football. Any classification, they had the single-season touchdown record, most yards from scrimmage, most rushing yards. They averaged over 400 yards a game rushing the football. It was something to behold. And you go 3rd and 13, you run out Andy Majors, and you pick up 30 to, whoever in the passing game. And that was a pretty fun time when you roll in. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was a freshman. Neil Philpott was a freshman. I was a lineman. He was the quarterback. And he walked into the building, and I was like, I'm not sure if I should be here anymore. Turn, handoff to Brooks once again. When your quarterback is 3.5, maybe 4 inches taller than you and the same weight, you probably start to question your decisions a little bit. Not much there, and there'll be no gain. In fact, is how that one will be scored. It'll bring up a 2nd down and goal, again back to the 19-yard line. Trojans, a couple of times now, have had it 1st and goal and had to go backwards before they go forwards. In the quarterback, Jake Towner for Girard. And he's going to let that play clock run down. It's inside 7 seconds now. Man in motion, and you're going to get a legal procedure. This game would have been over in about an hour and a half had we had not so many illegal procedures that have stopped this drives. That's probably, if I'm, the fumbles you're going to take. It's raining, it's miserable. Fact for the Girard only have 3 turnovers in this game, almost a win. But I would tell you, these illegal procedures will kill you. You get into a team against Holton, if you're fortunate enough to go past that, or against next week, or perhaps against Wellsville or Hayden, you're not going to be able to overcome those all the time. And that 5 yards is a big deal in a close game. Girard hasn't had too many of those close games. They've been able to overcome those each and every time. And at this point in the season, that stops being so easy. Towner, turn, hand off Brooks. Got to try to break out a one-arm tackle, not able to do so. Good job at that point of attack for the Raiders. Tackle made by number 11, Carter Chance. And it'll bring a 3rd down and goal from a long way away. Pretty fun, though, right now in Girard, Kansas. Yeah. Trojans are going to win their 20th out of 21 games. And I got a chance to go up to K-State last week and spent some time with Creed Curran. And Creed lamenting a bit because he was a bit of a run there where they went 4 years and didn't win, won 20 games in 4 years. And in 2 years now, the Trojans have won 20 games and are right where they need to be to make a run. And one of the best runs so far in school history. Towner, turn, handoff, not much there. Lots of penetration. Somebody's missing their assignment, backup lineman. Gage Peterson in to make that play. And a big loss in 4th down. Trying to find scores and see who we might be looking at next week. Again, the Trojans, I believe, guaranteed to play at home. Humboldt's going to advance as well and keep their season alive. 26-14 score right now late in that one. Wellsville 19, Hayden 14 at halftime. Try to get an update on that one before we get off the air here. 2:33 and counting in this one. 4th and a country mile at the 26-yard line. Towner just going to try to keep it. Pick his way forward. He'll be brought down. Not much there. Somebody's coming in to make all-star play. And a turnover on downs. And the first time, really, the offense has been stopped in this second half. Since the second half started, the Trojans scored on their opening drive. That was a long one. They took a bunch of time off the clock, over 5 minutes on that opening drive. Scored on the second one of the half, scored on the third one of the half. That is the first time they've been stopped in this half. Have the Trojans.
I'm going to need a roster. There's a bunch of numbers out there I don't know.
Well, it's good that we've gotten to the 2:20 mark of the fourth quarter, and you're looking for a roster.
I can help you out if you need some of the numbers. You got Aaron Dubrava on the right side, Caleb Humble in the middle with Zach Benzo, and also Brandon Bishop in the middle. And then you got Levi Blair playing in the corner, Hunter Hickman in the middle with Bryce Reese, and I believe that's Tyler Anderson on the far side.
In his defense, he's known all these kids since he was
And then
born.
there's Mason Gilmore at safety, along with number 15, who I'm not quite sure who that is.
Adrian Newton. I've got a
Jess is there. Jess is there.
Closing it up. Good job, Daryl and Murph. I think they took a knee, or they just fumbled it. I didn't see what exactly happened there. They'll cover the ball up and try to keep it as dry as possible. That center judge has had his work cut out for him.
Been busy, hasn't he?
Yeah, I believe they're taking a knee, just accepting their loss here.
Raiders going to finish their year 6-4. And, yep, take their medicine.
And that's a good show of sportsmanship
Absolutely.
by Mark Smith as well.
Yeah, the second he took that job at Frontenac, I said, watch out for the Raiders. And since that point, they played for 2 state titles under him. And they can get on a run at any time. They've got a young group of kids that are coming up. This will continue to be a rivalry for a long time, I hope. And the Trojans tonight, though, were just better and overcome some of those early mistakes to get in here and get a win. In our last update, Wellsville was winning 19-14 at halftime over Hayden, but try to get some more of those updates before we get out of the air. Coming up in just a little bit, we've got the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance post-game show. We'll recap this game, let you know how we ended up here, get some final thoughts, and look to that next game as well for the Trojans, as they will be playing for yet another sectional championship, and they'll get to play at home for that one. I keep saying that. I've been wrong all night. I'm just looking at the bracket. It's not Wellsville. Neither one of you guys corrected me either.
Wellsville's playing.
It's the other side of that bracket, though, I believe. Yeah, that's who Columbus would be ready to play. We would be waiting on the winner of Holton and Bishop Ward. That's right.
That's what you said earlier.
It is what I said earlier, and then I started watching the wrong thing. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Watch Galena Sports Live, right, when you're not watching Girard Sports Live.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for coming over, guys. Trojans going to win this one, 36-0. Come back on a monsoon Friday night in G-Town, and the Trojans are regional champions for the second year in a row, 36-0 winners over the Frontenac Raiders, and they'll advance to take on either Holton or Bishop Ward next Friday night right here at Frank Jameson Field. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll kick off the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance post-game show. We'll recap this ball game and get you ready for next week. The Trojans are winners here tonight over the Raiders. We'll talk about it next on the Farmers Insurance Leah Smith Agency post-game show on Girard Sports Live. Yeah, I hope so.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Walnut, Hepler, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Here at the Smith Agency, we love being part of our hometown, and we know it's the people who make our community great. That's why this year, we're on the search for our hometown hero. Hometown heroes are individuals who go above and beyond impacting people's lives. Hometown heroes are children, parents, seniors, they're leaders, and they're everywhere. Nominate your hometown hero, and at the last home game of the season, they'll be recognized with a $100 gift card to Heroes Barbecue. Contact our office and nominate your hero today.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings and a variety of other dishes that would satisfy any cravings, even homemade pie. Besides dine-in and carry-out, Chicken Annie's of Girard also does catering in the area. Stop in on Highway 47 in Girard for a hearty meal, and follow Chicken Annie's of Girard on Facebook for specials.
Get a good look in there at the Trojan team. Just win it 36-0 winners over the Frontenac Raiders. Pick up a regional championship game as they advance to the next round, the sectional round of the Class 3A playoffs. Field cut in half once again, and the Trojans will host a sectional round. The furthest east team in the sectional round will win it, and the other teams that are live, Holton or Bishop Ward. Unless Bishop Ward wins, they might be further east, but I believe Holton will probably win that game. We'll try to find that again as we go through. If anybody has that, shoot me a text on that, and we'll figure out who's going to win it. We're in the midst of the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance postgame show. Leah has over 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri. Let Leah and her staff find the right coverage for your personal or business needs. To learn more, call 620-670-4590. Here's how we got to where we are tonight as we recap it on the Leah Smith postgame show. Raiders would have the ball to begin as the Trojans won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. Raiders would go 3-and-out on the opening drive and punt it away. Girard would get it at their own 25-yard line with 10:01 to go in the first quarter. 3-and-out themselves, and on the ensuing punt, a mishandled snap by Luke Nigaman, and they would turn it over on downs officially at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. 2 plays later, the Raiders fumble it right back to the Trojans. That goes differently. We might have ourselves a different ball game here. Instead, they turn it over to the Trojans. Girard takes it and goes on a nice little drive, but eventually they fumble it back to the Raiders, and with 2:39 to go in the first quarter at 0-0, both teams with turnovers, the Trojans with 2 at this point. Frontenac would start with their own 34-yard line with 2:39. Mind you, at this time, it's torrential downpour, a monsoon kind of rain, not like it is right now out there as you watch everybody celebrating. Raiders forced to punt with 3 seconds left. The Trojans get it back. 2 plays later, their third turnover in as many drives for the Trojans, as Adam Shireman, this time the guilty party. Raiders get it back at the Girard 41-yard line. Really good field position. Frontenac would have good field position in the first half of this one. 11:55, they get the ball. One of their best drives of the game. They convert on a third down on a 21-yard completion, their biggest play, I believe, of the game. They have to settle after having first and goal at the 10-yard line. They have to settle for a 22-yard field goal. It's no good. That goes different. This is a different kind of game, perhaps. Instead, it doesn't. 7:52 to go in the first half, 0-0. This is when the Trojans go to work. They started their own 20-yard line with 7:52 to go in the first half. 11 plays, 80 yards, took 4:53 off the clock and capped it off on a 2-yard touchdown run by Alex Kester, his first of what would be a couple in this ball game. Over 100 yards at halftime for Kester, and that's how we would go to half, 7-0. Opening drive of the second half, and Kester came out like a lightning rod as he would lead the Trojans all the way down the field. This time, 9 plays, 63 yards, capped off on a 22-yard gem of a run by Alex Kester as he cut inside on that defender, made him miss him, and kept that run going to score as he was able to give the Trojans a 14-0 lead after a Garrett Humble point-after attempt. Raiders would start at their own 34-yard line with 5:57 to go in the third quarter. They would be forced to punt, but it would be a fake punt, a successful fake punt. They would get the first down, but on the run, fumble it right back to the Trojans. Girard gets it back and makes short work of it as they start at their own 46-yard line. 4 plays later, it's a 25-yard touchdown run by Ethan Davidson. 4 plays, 46 yards. Point after attempt made it 21-0. Raiders, they get it back, and a forced fumble. This time, Adam Shireman forces the fumble. He said, "Give me the ball. I want to run, and I want to run the ball a lot." And he does. With 1:08 to play in the third quarter, Adam Shireman forces the fumble and then commences to have 6 straight runs and gets a touchdown, 4 yards out. as the Trojans add to their lead with 10:25 to go in the game, 29-0. Another fumble by the Raiders. Trojans take advantage of this one. Another Adam Shireman touchdown. So Kester with 2 scores in this game. Shireman with 2 touchdown runs in this game. And they go up 35-0. Davidson got the 5th one. And then it was kind of a mess after that as the backups came in, a couple of fumbles, turnovers, downs. And that's how we ended this one, 36-0. The Trojans winners here tonight over Frontenac. We'll take another quick break. We'll come back, recap, or finish up talking about this one. Look towards the next one when we return on the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance postgame show on Girard Sports Live.
For years, James Brumback and Brumback Service Center have been keeping area residents on the road with high quality and fast service. Let's face it, none of us have time for a breakdown, so be sure to stop by Brumback's for preventative maintenance, oil changes, and tire repairs. Brumback's is also your place for new tires with a variety of quality brands to choose from. Brumback Service Center, 312 East St. John in Girard. Call 620-724-6770. Good luck, Trojans, from Brumback Service Center.
Family owned and operated, G&N Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, G&N Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. G&N Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Back out here, Frank Jameson Field in Girard. B.J. Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod, now joined by the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, as well as we're in the midst of the Leah Smith Farmers Insurance postgame show as the Girard Trojans 36-0 winners over the Frontenac Raiders here tonight to advance into the sectional round of the playoffs. And Coach, good win for your guys. Boy, you had to get against it tonight a little bit, fighting against the weather, and then fight against some of those turnovers caused by the weather. But ultimately, when things got going, You got to feel good about how your guys responded.
Yeah, it's started slow. Like you said, weather had a little bit of part to play on that on both sides. I think they had some turnovers, we had some, and that was ball got a little greasy and hard to hold on to. And but our kids stuck to what we do, and wasn't necessarily the game plan. Call sheet changed a little bit as you get going in those games like that, but our kids handled it pretty well and stuck to the plan, and defensively they played very, very well tonight. So playing some complementary football right there on both sides, helping each other out. So that's good to have at this time of year.
Ultimately, your offense and the way you run things lends itself to maybe not great weather, and so not necessarily have to change much, just change your approach to those plays.
Yeah, I mean it's just focus on the little things. We talked about the things you can control, and that's our focus on taking care of the ball. That's two hands on it. That's hitting blocks, staying running your feet, because our linemen were saying it was hard to fit them up. They were wet and slick, and so we'd like to do a little bit more, but ultimately we did what we needed to well enough to win the game, and at this time of year, that's all that really matters.
One of the things that really seemed to spark you guys and get you going was some of those tough yards after contact down the field, the strength of your running backs, whether that was Kester and those runs where he had, and then you bring in Adam Shireman, give you that change of pace. How big is it to be just strong enough in that secondary when you get to that second level as a running back?
Yeah, I think Al had a phenomenal night, really, of yards after contact. He pushed the pile, spun off kids, and would get 5, 3, 2, 6 extra yards or whatever it was, and Shireman came in and ran hard and did kind of the same thing. And it's good to have that. Like I said, those guys have worked, and we get a lot of reps at it. They see it, so they can play fast and play confident with it, and that's kind of living that way right now.
You talked about the complementary football, and defensively, that when things weren't going well early in the game in the first quarter and the weather was in there and you guys had yourself pinned deep, defense stood up. Another time they had 1st and goal inside, forced the field goal rather, and were able to get off the field. And Drake Kotzman stands out, but tonight in particular, when you go back and watch his film, you're going to see 3 guys on him all the time, and he was still very disruptive. They quit kind of running between the tackles because of that.
Yeah, he can be a force in there. He's got himself better all year long, and really become he changes people's game plan a little bit and frees up our linebackers. And I think you saw a couple run throughs that Pike had and tackle on the backfield. A lot of those probably caused because of Drake. Yeah. So. You're playing together, and when you do your job, you may not make the play, but you're going to open it up for somebody else, or you might make the play. But, like I said, our defense is fitting pretty well together, and offense is kind of, tonight was kind of ugly, but it was kind of the way we want it to. Make it a grind and run the ball and be effective when we need to be.
It was the weather obviously was kind of gnarly, and I'm sure that lends itself to 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, but there seemed to be a little juice, a little energy, a little more enthusiasm perhaps. They were fired up to come out and play this Raider team, and that lent itself to keep going through some of that adversity, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it all week that there's a rivalry there. I mean, there's league rivals for years and everything else, and so we told them we want to make sure we're playing our brand of football and focus on us and focus on this week to be 1-0. Not had week 4 had nothing to do with this. Yeah. They would definitely love to come over here and ruin it for us. And so make sure that they don't do that. And that's the thing we can control is how we prepare this week of practice and how we control how our response to the weather tonight. And I think we did a nice job of hanging in there and persevering on some of that.
When you start to get to this point of the season and you start to play in the second week of November, it starts to become a bit of a grind. And it's a mental game and a want-to game. I just seeing the energy and perhaps some of the guys you have in certain spots that seem to have that motor, that have that energy. You feel like this is a group of kids who's still in it as they were in week 1, week 4, week 7. You get into week 11, you got to bring it. And you got to dig deep.
I think we were pretty focused this week in practice. Yeah. We had 2 really nice days of locked in and seeing what we were supposed to see on defense and kind of doing what we needed to on the offensive side of things. But we've been banged up a little bit here the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we're trying to work ourselves to get back to healthy, and our kids are working at that. I mean, kids are doing that, trying to get healthy because they still want to play. Yeah. And when I say work to get healthy, they're icing, they're stretching, they're therapy, all that stuff they can do. It sometimes becomes annoying, but they've bought into that, and they're hungry. I mean, they still want to be playing.
Well, I'm fairly confident I'll get coach talk here, but the Trojans will be hosting the Holton Wildcats. You and I talked at one point that you felt like maybe going up there last year didn't necessarily put your best foot forward. You feel like that one maybe got away from you and stung a little bit. You're going to get redemption. You're going to get an opportunity likely to play them again in the same round at home. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean,
fired up?
I don't think last year that was one of the games that did not represent the way we played the rest of the year. Yeah. From all kind of sorts of things. I can remember back from the very first snap, we had guys not communicating, not going the same way, not doing what they're supposed to, and that kind of snowballed into things. And so it wasn't what we had done to get there, and that was disappointing. We may have gotten beat all the less, that's fine, but we just did not play our football. And it doesn't. We talk about doesn't matter who we play. We're worried about us, but we want to try to be 1-0, and we want to play good football. And if we get beat, we get beat. But we're going to do it. We're going to play our brand, and we get a chance to play them again, play Holton at home, same round, all that. But we got to do what we could do to go beat them. And I know I haven't seen anything on them. I got an idea what they're probably going to do.
Yeah, you think?
But I haven't seen it, and I imagine they'll be a physical brand of football. And they've got a lot of kids back from a year ago.
As do you guys. Yep.
And so they're obviously a good team, and so we're gonna have to prepare and play well and worry about ourselves right now.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations. A great win. Nice to battle back from adversity and probably get some dry clothes on.
Yeah. I don't know how wet I am to the sectional later, but I'm pretty wet.
All right. Well, Coach, congratulations, and good luck next week against Holton.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance Postgame Show. We'll take one more time out. We'll come back, wrap things up here from Girard. Trojans win at 36-0 over the Raiders. We're back after this.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
Celebrate, recognize, build. That's the promise of Wilbert Signature Awards and Engraving. Owners Greg and Missy Scott are committed to helping their customers celebrate special moments, recognize achievements, and build relationships. With a huge selection of Trojan gear, plaques and awards, custom leather patch hats, trophies, and so much more. Plus, while you're there, stop in next door to find the latest fashions from Aubrey at Scott & Company. Wilbert Signature Awards and Engraving. Learn more at wilbertawards.com or call 620-724-0341.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
We'll take one last look in here at Girard High School. Friendly confines of Frank Jameson Field, and look at that score, 36-0. Trojans winners over the Frontenac Raiders. B.J. Harris, Jess Murphy, Daryl McLeod one last time back here at Girard High School. And gentlemen, I'll give you the final words on this one. You've been able to follow the Trojans all year long. You've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. We saw the good, the bad, and the ugly here tonight as well. But ultimately, it's a pretty darn good football team's got pretty high hopes and opportunities here. And they'll have a tough one next week, but got to be pretty excited to be around Girard right now with all this success that's going on for the Trojans.
Yeah, BJ, we've argued, you and I have talked. We talked to Mr. Blaze Bauer, and you've quoted on it what these boys have now won 20 games.
20 out of the last 21, yep.
Yeah, what a great time to be a Trojan. This team, what you saw tonight, I know it wasn't pretty. I mean, we had some turnovers that wasn't flashy, but that hard-nosed defense, another shutout.
Yeah.
Another 36 points.
Yeah.
Whether it doesn't matter. And to echo Coach Philpott what he says all night, 1-0. That's all that matters. Is we just got to go 1-0 every week. It doesn't, and do what we do very well. And he said something in his coach's interview a while ago about whatever. I think he was talking about Holton, what they do, and they do it well. Blah blah blah. Well, Coach Philpott has these boys doing what he wants them to do,
yeah.
And by God, BJ, they do it well.
Yeah. It was something, too, we were talking to B.J. Pruitt in here, and he was talking about that particular offense, and it looks simple, and it is certainly not.
No.
So if you're watching at home and you see what the Trojans are doing, the things that are the little nuances to that do make the difference. They create those angles. They give you just a little more of an advantage between the tackles. It is nuanced, to say the least, and certainly the type of offense that could come in, and if they play like you say they play their game, they'll have a chance. But that one loss out of those last 20 is the team that's coming in here next week, and that'll take a little bit of effort for the Trojans. Daryl, any thoughts on this one?
Well, like you said, that one loss, and also like we've said, a lot of returning players this year. All of them know how bitter that loss was, how to end their season up in the cold heights of Holton,
yes,
out on that field. But now Holton has to come here. They have to come here and play on our field and beat the Trojans at our home. and with a lot of players who want their revenge on the Holton, whatever their mascot is. I believe it's Wildcats. Is
yeah,
it?
the Wildcats.
The Wildcats. Yeah.
Generations of Trojans would like to see that
Yes.
win. As a guy who had his career at Girard ended by a game at the Holton Wildcats as well. It looking to be a little chilly as well. I don't know how we'll describe the cold. I think we'll describe it better, likely, next week. But we need to watch that. Doesn't matter. The Trojans are still playing in week number 3 of the playoffs. They'll be in the sectional round next Friday night right here against the Holton Wildcats. We'll have that game for you here on Girard Sports Live. For my broadcast partners, here's Jess Murphy and Daryl McLeod. I'm BJ Harris saying good night from one of the greatest places on earth, Frank Jameson Field here in Girard, Kansas. You've watched it tonight on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
You've been watching Trojan Athletics on Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live is presented by Crocan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net. Also by Ag Choice of Epler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Call Service, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Diskins Auto and Towing, DS Construction, Evans Motors, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Farmers Bank, Girard Medical Center, Hydrix Appliance, The Jagged Edge, GN Bank, Larrett Ceramics, Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drug, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Producers Cooperative Association, and Roto-Rooter. Thanks for watching, and don't miss us next time right here on Girard Sports Live.